Good. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? It's Nice Guy Andy Podcast. You know what we do? We listen to music tonight. This is we're live here with Troy Perry and Britt Ripley, and we got Superfly Johnny Lee over here.
That's right. That's right.
Superfly.
We're gonna talk about music tonight. We might talk about a little bit of wrestling, but usually I don't know if you guys like wrestling. Usually what we do is watch wrestling around here, but let's talk about Skullfest 420's coming up. Troy, you got some music coming out.
Yes, sir.
You got a radio show that's very popular. Britt, you got you're on his record, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, you
Playing
got
the
some.
bass.
You're going to teach us about the bass a little bit today. You might play a little bit. Y'all might play a little bit of music. Tell us what's going on, guys.
Go ahead.
Skullfest 420. Where we at? Are we up on the?
You want it?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah.
we live. We
Yeah,
live
go
right
share it.
now. All
I'm gonna
right.
send you the link so you can share it to people too.
Skullfest 420 this Saturday. Hair of the Doghouse. That's 218 South Porter Drive in Richmond, Kentucky. Starts at 4:20 in the afternoon till closing, which I don't know when they close. Midnight. I'm assuming 1.
One, I think.
Probably one.
I would assume one.
Skullfest 420, Hair of the Doghouse in Richmond, Kentucky. There's going to be a ton of bands. April 20th, presented by Skullface Records. $10 cover, but it gets you all-day music. There's going to be some merch tables. There's going to be, I think there's some food trucks and stuff. I'm not for sure on that, but... And I don't know. I've never been to Hair of the Dog or Hair of the Doghouse. I don't know if they've got a kitchen or if it's just straight bar. I'm not for sure.
It's gonna be your first time, ain't it?
First time there,
It'll
yeah.
be my first time there, but I believe when I looked it up on the Facebook that it had pictures of food, but I could be wrong.
If
Right.
it's got food, that means that's a good place to go to for this concert.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure there'll be food down there somewhere.
I'm sure.
We
it's
played,
right down there by EKU.
I think you're really close to the cookout too, so I think you can just run over to the cookout if you wanted some food.
Last show we played was Girls Burrito in Lexington, and they got some good food. I mean, it's a bar, but it's food.
That's downtown, right?
Yeah, it's right downtown. That's right in the heart of the school, the
Yeah.
students and stuff.
Oh yeah, right down there.
And that was a good show.
And
that
that
was
was back
good.
in
I don't know what
February.
was better, the music or the food. It was neck to neck.
Yeah.
And that was back in February, wasn't
It was a good time.
Yeah, that was February.
That was great, man. It was a great show.
So since then, we kind of went hardcore rehearsing and went to the studio, and we got a CD release this Saturday. So Skullfest 420 is also going to be a CD release party for the Troy Perry Show, which is our band.
Hell yeah. How many tracks you got on there? Is it a full album?
6 tracks, so it's really an EP.
EP, yeah.
Yeah, we recorded it in
That's
one
usually
weekend.
how everybody's doing right now, ain't they?
Yeah, we will do a full length deal, 12 songs probably, 10 to 12. Take our time with it, but this one we recorded the basic tracks. We record all of our rehearsals, so I basically said, let's get together, do a strong rehearsal, we'll record it, and then I just went back and added some second guitar parts to make it thicker, because it's just 3-piece and some backup vocals. Or I redid the vocals and then add backup vocals.
You do a lot of the stuff yourself, don't you? A lot of the music yourself?
The originally that's what I was doing. There's some demos out there in Skullface land, still floating around the internet, of my original demos where they were just me by myself.
Yeah.
And the whole concept was to put these songs out that I've been sitting on for years, and I just played everything myself, and then I was going to put a band together. And the whole concept was songs that I'd written either when I was younger or songs about
When you was
when I was young. So, and the record was going to be called Chronicles of an American Youth. And I was going to put a band together, put the thing out completely independently. And then Nick got involved and he wanted to release it. And, I mean, some songs I sit on for a year and was adding, I'd sit and think about it for 3 or 4 days, and maybe a ride cymbal would sound good here. I mean, it was getting layered pretty bad.
It's kind of like painting a picture. It's like if you're an artist and you paint a picture, you better get rid of it because you're going to continue to paint on it.
Keep putting happy trees in there.
Yeah,
Guess
exactly.
like
And,
it's like every musician.
Yeah, you just overthink. And but my point was to get a band together to promote it live or play out live, and I was going to call it Troy Perry and the Chronicles, and the Chronicles being the backup band.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the lines, I started doing a couple acoustic shows for Nick before he ever signed me or anything. And he started nicknaming me the Troy Perry Show, even just by myself. I'm like, what? That's corny. What is that?
That's Nick Kyle for you.
And he's like, have you ever saw yourself perform? I guess I get a little bit. I don't just sit there. I get a little bit of a showmanship on stage.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do when you're
we've seen
and
you
he's
play
like,
live
no. He
before.
said, when I watch you, that is the Troy Perry Show. And I get people involved. I bring people up on stage, even if it's just me sitting on a stool with an acoustic. So when I started finally putting a band together to do these songs, he just kept promoting it as the Troy Perry Show. So the whole Chronicles went out the window.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called the Troy Perry Show, and I just stuck with it. So when he finally put the CD out, he said, do you want me to put these songs out that you already have? I'm like, no, that's not fair, because we've changed a lot of the performances. We've worked really hard on this. Let's just record. I think it's just going to be 3 or 4. And he said,
start off as 4.
a 3 or 4 song EP,
Yeah.
almost a maxi single. And then we got together and we knocked out 6 songs at a rehearsal. And I called Nick and I said, will 6 be okay? He's like, whatever you want to do. And I said, yeah, let's do 6, our 6 strongest songs. So we literally recorded it one evening in like 3 hours. And
Is
then
that you and Britt?
that was me, Britt, and our drummer, Evan Smith.
Hell yeah.
We've met Evan too, right? We've met Evan.
Yeah, Evan's
Shout
been
out
with
to Evan.
Skullface for years.
Evan's been in here. He has his own album, right?
No, he played on a lot of like Nick stuff.
Okay.
So if you hear of any of the Nick Nasty and all that stuff solo, it's Evan playing on a lot of that.
Okay.
And he was basically the Skullface session drummer. And but Nick introduced us to him, and we had a few sit-in drummers for live shows that going into it knew that they were sitting in for this 1 or 2 shows. And then once we met Evan, we're like, I think we found our niche here. Yeah.
Found the drummer.
And he fits in, and we gelled good together. So we started playing these songs, and I thought it's only fair to do it how we do it live now. So instead of releasing this thing I worked on for a year,
Hell yeah.
we got together in 3 hours, and that's what you get to hear.
That's what I'm talking about, because
So how involved are you, Brett, in the songwriting and are you just a music guy?
The songwriting part of it?
Songwriting
None.
only Troy?
None of it. These
No,
are all
that's
Troy songs.
that's not 100% true. I want to give Britt a little bit of. I write the songs and the music, and then I present it to them.
Yeah.
But Britt will come up with some really cool bass riff, because as a musician, I'm a guitar player and vocalist, but I can play drums and bass to get by and make a demo. But once you present it to a real drummer and a real bass player, that song goes on to another level.
Exactly.
So songwriting wise, Britt and Evan both deserve that credit. They took it where I couldn't,
They put their little spin on it.
which in turn made me start playing differently.
Yeah.
So I wrote it, but they critiqued it.
Yeah, they put their little unique
Yes,
spin
sir.
on
which is
it.
good,
Yeah.
because
It's
helps
been a
us.
lot of fun. I mean, Troy has been gracious enough to be able to let go of his songs, to allow us to be us within what he wrote.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The show. You're the
Yeah.
show.
They're the show. I'm just Troy Perry.
Troy
These
Perry,
two guys-
y'all are the
show.
show.
These two
The
guys are the
show.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I gotta tell you though, before any continues, we were impressed with you the first time we saw you play live.
Where was that at?
That was Skullfest 4.
Skullfest 4.
You got animated.
That's
think
that's
the
what
Troy
it
Perry
should've
show.
been.
That's what
we
that
may
kicks in.
have seen you play in your studio. Like, didn't you strum a little bit on the
Yeah.
guitar in your studio?
Yeah, he
You
did,
did.
but-
That was at the radio station.
Yeah, at the radio
We played
station,
a
I think,
little
But,
bit, yeah.
but at Skullfest 4, he really let loose.
Yeah, yeah.
Skullfest 4. Britt was there, and we had Doug Collins sit in on drums.
Yeah, we had
He was our first session drummer.
what was that?
That's right.
We had practiced
Twice.
twice.
Yeah.
3 times, but we'll call it 2 good practices.
Yeah.
No, y'all rocked the place. Y'all did.
And that was it. As a band, that was it.
Yeah.
And we came out there, and then it rained. It got pushed out an hour because of the rain, and then the rain messed up some of my pedals, so I couldn't tune.
Oh man,
It was all kinds of And I thought, let's just jam. So I got out and did this. I don't want to ruin it, but there's an encore song we do, and that's where Nick, because of that, I even did that stuff on acoustic. That's where Nick come up with the Troy Perry show.
Yeah. Do you in concert when you're playing live? Do you cover anybody? You cover any bands, or y'all just play your own stuff?
No, there's 3 covers.
Yeah, we splashed
Out
some
of-
covers in there.
Yeah.
Just to add a little.
We have an 8 to 9 song set, which doesn't sound like much, but there's a lot of jamming, so it's still like an hour show.
8, 9 songs. That's a good set.
Yeah, and we got our 6
That's pretty
songs on the EP.
Because I mean, y'all are so energetic on y'all's on one song, so like 9 songs wears you out. I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm wondering how we're gonna be tired when we get this stuff to the full 2-hour show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, because there's more music.
Yeah.
But
We
you'll
got-
hear the 6 songs off the EP, and then there's, without saying too much, there's
Yeah,
a
just-
couple,
yeah,
3 covers in there, just to throw in. But
we got a few to mix in and out, just depending on crowd.
we've critiqued them to our own style, though.
So
Yeah.
you're releasing the album tomorrow, and I'm sure y'all are gonna
Or
have
Saturday
Saturday.
at the
Saturday
show.
night.
Saturday night.
night,
I'm
yeah.
sure you guys will have some CDs there for sale.
Yeah, actually, there'll be CDs, T-shirts, and while supplies last, we're going to do a package deal where you get a CD, a shirt, and a promo picture autographed. And then once those are done, we'll just sell them individually.
How about guys? If people are interested right now in your CD, where can they go when it comes out? Is there a website that we can go to and
Skullface Records. Look it up on
We will.
Skullface. It is Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
It's on his Bandcamp.
Just go to Skullface Records Bandcamp, and it's still just under Troy Perry right now. Through there, you'll be able to order CDs. You can even order it on vinyl. It'd just be special orders. So, vinyl takes so long and costs so much to press.
Yeah.
We're not to that stage where we're going to show up with 20 vinyl records that people could buy at a show, but you can special order them, and in a matter of about 3 weeks, you'll receive it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it can be available on vinyl as special order, but right now we've got it on CD.
Me and
Just
Andy want to
streaming.
get some vinyl CDs made.
Yeah, and we're working on, Troy's working on getting it up on Spotify and all this streaming service. We're trying out one song on there, right?
Yeah.
First to see how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to have. There's a song called "Cheap Motel."
On where? Spotify?
It
Well,
will be.
okay.
We're hoping it's going to time out. I've got a distributor that's putting it out on there. Technically, we have one song on Skullface Records Spotify, but that was a podcast that you did.
Yeah.
But if you listen, there's one song on that.
Yeah. It's a new version.
And you'll be able to stream everything off of Skullface Records as well.
Cool. They have a great YouTube channel, guys. If y'all have not checked out Skullface Records YouTube channel, there's all kinds of great music on there. Johnny, you got something you want to say?
Oh, yeah. Donnie Green and his beautiful wife will be at Skullfest 420. They're looking forward to it. And Nick Khan said they can hit him up directly to order copies as well. $10 shipped.
Oh, so Nick's on there too?
Yep. Nick's here.
Tell him give us a call when
Nick Nasty.
Call us, brother. Call us, Nick.
Sometime tonight. I mean, you don't have to right now, but
What's up, Nasty?
Nick Nasty.
Nick was, I thought all day, where should we explain that Nick is right now? And I thought we could do the rock star thing and say, well, Nick is, he's passed out in some hotel down the street here at the whatever. And I thought, no, that's too cliche. And then we could say, well, Nick, he finally had to break down, and they sent him like 3 states away to some special rehab for like 6 weeks. But I'm just going to tell the truth, man. Rock stars and record deals and all, they still got a family. He just didn't have a sitter tonight.
yeah, he's probably watching
And
his
that's the truth.
watching his daughter
He is.
and
He is,
and doing laundry.
I was going to say that he big leagued us by getting some coke and get drunk off his ass and passed out somewhere down in Dally.
Back home taking care of the fam.
Yeah,
I can
he's
make
doing-
up a lot more interesting stories, but the truth be told, he just couldn't find a sitter. So him and his little girls kicking it and listening to Nice Andy.
Yeah, that's
That's
usually
good.
what I'm doing at home. If I'm not here or anything, or at my day job, I'm home doing laundry or mowing the yard or something.
I
That's
remember
what
I was younger, late teens, and there was a local band that was good 8 years older than me. I kind of looked up to them. They'd put out some music and done some tours. And I remember I called the guy, or he called me or something. We'd worked in radio, like when I was 19, and he was definitely a mentor. And I remember calling him, and he's like, "Oh, I was just doing some dishes. What's up?" And I was like, "Doing dishes? So that's not very rock star." He's like, "They got to get clean."
Yeah.
People that
Yeah, I get it.
They're all normal. Even Nick, I went over there the other day and he's like, our CDs were in and he gave me some copies and Britt some copies and our shirts were in and we were approving everything and talking about stuff, and then he says, "Well, I got to get back in there. I got Hamburger Helper on this stuff."
Hamburger Helper.
So yeah, you know, we're all normal people.
Yeah.
That's right. Rock stars don't live a fantasy life.
Not me and Johnny. Me and Johnny are out partying all the
yes,
time.
we are.
And,
with strippers and coke and blow and
Yeah,
alcohol, Jack Daniels.
we have a cot in the back of the strip club, and we're usually at the strippers' houses and stuff. That's what
Podcast guys live a whole different life, but
yeah,
as
that's
musicians,
we're the new rock stars, actually.
we are.
Yeah. We're the
We
new
be
rock
living it
DJs
up.
used to be like, I'm radio DJ.
But now that's just iHeartRadio. Hit the play button.
I know. I want to plug that real quick. There, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. WCYN. So there you go.
Guys, tune in Thursday night. He's there live. I've been there in the studio. It's not like a regular radio show. He's there live. He's taking the vinyls and he's putting them in the thing.
Vinyl records.
He's
like
taking the
old days.
vinyls. He's got a crate. He's pulling in there. He's going through. I'm sure when he gets out, I'm sure he's making a list of what he wants to do, and this is a
Sometimes.
unique music show that's on
Exactly.
Thursday nights. You don't get this very often anymore. We are so fortunate to have Troy doing his show, a live show on a traditional radio station, because it does not happen anymore, right?
No,
Exactly.
everything you listen to, not everything, but a lot of radio stations have gone to satellite or,
Y'all's whole radio stations like that. Y'all have a radio, like a radio show in the morning, right?
Yeah. They have live, kind of like what we're doing right now.
I love radio stations.
Says CYN.
Yep, WCYN 101.3 FM, 1400 AM, or you can listen on the WCYN app or WCYN.com.
Listen, guys, because these are guys that are doing live shows, kind of like what we're doing, and it just doesn't happen in regular radio anymore. There's programmers and they're programming shows up, and I mean, it's definitely a unique radio station down there in Cynthiana.
Back in September, I went to see, I got a good friend that hooked me up with some tickets to see Ringo Starr, second row.
Ooh, Ringo Starr.
And the All-Star Band.
Fucking legend.
Yeah, I mean, they were just, and it is an All-Star band.
He
With a
doesn't
great
get
song,
he doesn't
too.
get enough credit. He
No.
doesn't
He
get
really
enough
don't.
credit.
He
No,
can
I was
actually
standing
sing.
there because they let the first two rows come up to the stage, and it was in a auditorium. I mean, it was like Rupp Arena type auditorium, and I stood there and Ringo come out and did an encore, and I thought, if anybody ever asked me what's the biggest, person you've ever seen live, it's Ringo. I mean, he's a Beatle.
Yeah, he's a
Anything
Beatle.
bigger would have been Elvis, and he's already, he's already
Or
gone.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Or Michael Jackson.
Or Prince. Prince
Yeah.
is gone.
But yeah, Ringo. I'm looking at a Beatle right now. But anyway,
I don't think there's anybody left. Is there any legends left?
no.
Like
Except for Paul McCartney.
Paul
super
McCartney.
superstars. Paul McCartney.
Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. Keith
Those-
Richards will be around with Cockroaches and Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
see
the
him
Rolling
deal with
Stones. But other than that, even some of our alternative '90s guys are gone. The Stone Temple Pilots guys
Those
gone.
guys are all the Jim Morrisons of the '90s, man. You had Jim Morrison and like Hendrix and Janis Joplin. Well, they were in our generation, because we're all around the same age.
Yeah.
Our generation was Kurt Cobain, and even though it happened later, you just said it, Scott Weiland.
Yep.
The guy from Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, Scott Weiland and
The guy from Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Chris
Yeah,
Cornell.
Chris Cornell. So those were our
And Linkin
generations of Jim Morrisons that passed or young.
Yeah. All of our stars are gone. Kurt Cobain. What a unique guy, right?
He
Man, it
was
messed
unique.
he was, but it really messed me up. I don't know why when Chris Cornell passed away. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like-
Yeah,
It was
because,
like, where'd that come from?
it was like the last great voice.
But then I went back and listened
know?
to songs off of Super Unknown and even some of the earlier stuff, and I'm like, he's been
oh no,
he's
he's
been
always
calling
been,
for help all these years. We
Yeah,
just
he's
didn't
always
hear it.
been in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just a great,
Yeah.
just a great
Man,
Lane,
voice.
I got to
Lane
see
Staley
them.
of Alice in Chains.
I got to see them
Yeah, I know, right?
with
got to
Lane.
see
I saw them with
Chains?
Lane.
Yeah.
Lollapalooza
Sublime.
3.
Sublime's
Dude from
Yeah,
Sublime.
Sublime.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all, it's like if they would have lived, where would they have? Well, in a way, like someone like Chris Cornell. he did live through the superstar. I mean, he did live his life, and he was later in life when he passed, but had he passed like when Cobain did,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have had like Audio Slave and all this other stuff and all
have.
these solo things that he did, and the new Soundgarden stuff. So it's kind of, you think, well,
Temple of the Dog stuff.
oh man,
The
one of my favorite records.
Mother Love Bone guy died, and they
Yeah.
did Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have had.
I can't remember his name either, but
I can't. I was trying to. That's because
Andrew Wood.
came back to my head.
I love
Andrew
the '90s.
we probably would,
Andrew Wood was the
Yeah.
singer of Temple or Mother Love Bone.
Mother Love Bone.
and we probably wouldn't have had Chester Bennington live as long as he did. Cause
What was their
No,
big,
and
That's
he
his
and
rock.
he,
Crown
he
of-
passed, and I
Crown
think
of Thorns wasn't that their big hit? Mother Love Bone.
Yeah,
Crown of Thorns.
I think so.
no, Hunger Strike.
No, that was
after he died.
That was after he.
Are
died.
you saying? Oh, Mother Love Bone.
Yeah. Wasn't it Crown of Thorns?
It was Chloe Dancer. Chloe Dancer. Yes.
Because some of those guys came from. Some of those guys went to Pearl Jam, right? The
Yeah.
Mother Love Bone
Yeah.
guys, Pearl Jam, and then some went to
evolved
Soundgarden.
out of Mother Love Bone.
Yeah.
That's why Temple of the Dog is part Pearl Jam with the members from Mother Love Bone, and then the reason Chris Cornell is in there is Chris Cornell was Andrew Wood's roommate when he passed. So it's all. I mean, it was all Seattle. They all knew each other. Like we
Yeah,
all
It
knew
was
each
just
other.
like, yeah, it was all
A
part of that
freaking
scene
great.
thing.
That's a great. That's a super mega album. That mother. That
Right.
Temple of the Dog shit was great.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a very good album.
It was. The '90s was a time, man. It was.
Man, I love Stone Temple Pilots. Like one of my favorites. Pearl Jam 10 is one of my favorite albums
Pearl
of
Jam
all
10
time.
has a live jam to it. It just
Oh,
seems
man.
raw, the tight, but it feels like you walked into a jam, like a session.
Yeah.
Like it captured something. There's
Right.
a raw energy
Black.
there.
That song
Oh,
Black, on
Black,
there.
man.
Oh my
Porch,
God.
Yeah.
All those songs live, alive. I mean,
Alive, even flow.
even flow. Jeremy is the worst song on there. I think.
Yes,
But
yes.
it was the most popular, but that's
That
not.
song was so serious.
That was so serious, but I've heard it so many times I don't like it anymore. But
Right.
like all those other Alive is.
And I feel at
Even
my
flow.
age and Britt's age, we were lucky enough to enjoy the 80s in our early teens, the late 80s. So we still got that taste of that 80s flashier hairband
Oh
stuff.
yeah, Poison and
And,
White Snake.
that
Yeah,
was
dude,
like
that was
13,
a-
14 years old
Yeah,
with
I
that
saw,
stuff.
I saw Guns
No, I
N'
loved all that
Roses and
stuff.
Aerosmith. I was at
In 87,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was at the Appetite for Destruction concert
Opening
a
for
month and a
Aerosmith.
half after it came out, opening for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I never got to see them.
Hell
My
yeah.
first,
That was hot.
my first
I was
concert.
like 14 years old.
My first concert at Rub
Hell yeah.
was NXS.
Really?
Oh hell yeah! That's
I love
that'd
them.
be a
I
great
love
show.
them.
Yeah,
I love
New
those
sensation.
I love the.
guys. New
That's
sensation.
another guy, the singer from NXS.
Yeah, he's gone too. He's gone too. Like,
I love Black
same
Hole
way.
Sun by
is that the
Soundgarden.
dude who died from autoerotic asphyxiation?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that that
yeah.
guy?
What a way to go, right?
What a way to
Yep.
go!
What a way to go.
That's better. That's not as good as dying on top of a
Shitter.
On a hooker.
20-year-old.
I think it would have been better to die on a hooker than to die by autoerotic fixation.
Nick's at home going, this whole conversation about dead rock stars started with me sitting at home with my daughter.
Also, he said, "What's y'all's favorite album of the '90s?
Oh,
Favorite
man.
rock albums?"
Somebody asked that?
Yep, Nick Himes did.
Someone else go first. I don't know.
Mine's got to be Stone Temple Pilots. Probably Purple. I love that. Internet love song.
Interstate Love Song.
Interstate Love Song was the first album and the second album are like they're my favorites.
I would think, honestly, probably that Temple of the Dog record.
Yeah,
You know, There's some deep stuff in
Man,
there.
when I first heard that, that's what I mean. I guess that what turned me on to '90s alternative rock was Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
That was my
Nirvana.
favorite.
I can remember being at a party when I was
When I
about 17 and
see-
someone said, "Did you hear about that new song where they're in a
Right.
a gymnasium and you know, we're all still listening to Slaughter, and the Power Ballad was getting kind of big and unplugged and all that. So the world needed something, and I'm like, no, I haven't heard it. What is it? And I think it coincidentally came on MTV the next day.
MTV,
and I'm like, okay, something's going to change here.
When I seen it on MTV, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then
Mine
Some of the
coming in
best
there.
in
Live
the
came
90s.
out. Live came out. You remember those guys? Live.
Yeah, I remember Live.
Yeah,
Throwing Copper.
Yeah, those guys are great too.
Yeah.
I got one record that takes me back to the 90s, and you didn't think about it at the time. It just was the mood at the moment. But one record that takes me back, I recently bought the reissue of Siamese Dream from Smashing Pumpkins.
Hell
a few months
yeah.
ago.
Smashing Pumpkins.
And you put that on,
Good
and
band.
you hear that big muff, and that whole, and you all of a sudden can smell the 90s. You know, I mean, you can feel what was going on at that. That's a very nostalgic record. It didn't feel like it at the time, obviously, because it was new and it was whatever. But you put it on now, and you're like, man, I feel like you know.
I just remember like early 90s, 91 probably was the Chili Peppers, Blood
Oh,
Sugar Sex
yeah.
Magic.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah,
Under the
wasn't that a like that?
I just remember
that was Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin produced that album, right?
Yeah, Rick
that was
Rubin.
incredible.
That was, and I still say to this day, it's probably their best album they ever did.
Yes, it
Like
is.
It was
everything-
definitely their crossover, or you know,
Yeah.
what put them
Oh,
on
that's the one that just like
them
made
on
them who they are.
on the charts.
Yeah.
That's
I remember
right.
that video with Give It Away and Flea with the little spiral gold thing on his head. Like,
Amazing. That album is amazing. I'm glad you brought that album because that was one of my favorites too.
I mean-
I forgot about them. They're freaking rock stars.
yeah.
They actually lived.
and
Yeah.
Frizzle Fry by Primus.
Primus.
Hell yeah, Primus.
That
Daddy was a race car driver.
No, this was two
That was the
albums.
first
Frizzle
one,
Fry
yeah.
was back.
Yeah, Frizzle Fry was the very
Suck
first.
on this,
Frizzle Fry, then Suck on This, and then Sailing
the seas of cheese.
So let's see the cheese.
I like the Metallica's Black Album.
Oh, here we
A lot
go.
of good,
And then there was what was the
Here we
other?
go.
What was the other? Oh man,
Always gotta be that
Faith No
one
More.
guy.
Always that one.
Y'all remember when Faith No More came out? Faith No More.
Yeah. Oh
I do
yeah.
remember Faith No More.
Under the Bridge. That's what Nick Cobb said.
Under the Bridge.
Yep.
Oh, what a great song!
Probably my favorite writers, Evan Dando, Lemonheads from the '90s. I'm still a fan of Lemonheads and Evan, you know, Shame About Ray, all that stuff. Evan Dando, Mark Lanigan of Screaming Trees, Jay Mascis, Dinosaur Jr. That was my thing. Like you had Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all this top notch, top Billboard stuff.
What was the
going
one
on.
that got caught stealing? What was those guys?
That was Jane's Addiction.
Jane's
Addiction.
Addiction. You got to
Yeah.
remember
Speaking
those
of
guys.
Jane's
Yep,
Addiction.
those guys are good.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say it. I won't say it, Andy. You can't get it out of me.
Was that?
So
What is it?
then I like the Violent Femmes too, man. Those guys were hot back
Y'all
then.
getting deep on me now.
And then-
Oh yeah, we're getting
I'm
back
loving it.
80s on the Violent Femmes.
Deep on me now.
You know,
Is it 80s? Yeah,
no, there was late. Well, it was late
Yeah,
80s.
yeah.
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 REM was out. REM was
REM,
hot.
yeah.
back
REM,
then.
yep.
REM was hot for
The
a
Replacements.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If anybody, I always tell people that's younger than me or they were kids in the 90s. I said, "What was the 90s like?" I'd say, go find the single soundtrack to the movie Singles.
Oh yes,
Go find the soundtrack to Singles, and that was the 90s. Watch that movie and listen to the soundtrack.
That's
and
got a
you'll get it.
lot of. That's got awesome. There's a Mother Love Bone song on there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, and then
Well,
they also
Stars, yeah.
Soundgarden, Pearl Jam's on
Chris
there.
Cornell was in there as a roommate or as a neighbor, and Pearl Jam was
Bad Motorfinger.
all those guys were.
Oh,
Bad
great.
Motorfinger had just come out.
Use Your Illusions 1 and 2.
Man, you gave me cold chills on that album, man. I forgot about that album. That
And,
whole movie.
That whole movie had a great soundtrack.
There's a movie called Hype, a documentary called Hype, and it's all about the 90s. So watch Hype and Singles, and that's all
Yeah,
you need.
you did. Yeah.
I love the obscure bands that most people don't try to listen to because
That was me, like with Dinosaur Jr. and
Yeah.
Lemonheads and all. That was more listening
Danzig.
to that stuff.
Yeah,
oh
'cause-
yeah.
Dancing.
Danzig.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
Danzig.
Mother.
A lot of
That's
people
one of my
don't
favorite
realize.
songs.
You know
the
Twist of Cain on that first Danzig record, and during the chorus you hear the Twist of Cain. Hey, that's actually James Hetfield doing the hey.
Oh, is it
He's
really?
uncredited because the record labels wouldn't allow it, but they were recording in the same studio. They were just next door recording what became Injustice for All, I guess.
Yeah.
So y'all are y'all not a Metallica fan?
Yeah, we're
No,
Metallica
yeah.
fans. It's just everybody.
Yeah, boy.
Everybody-
mixes
You've
the
got your
Black
Metallica
Album.
fans and you got your Black Album fans.
Yeah, I'm not a Black Album fan.
Yeah, I
I
like them.
all their albums.
You know, I liked.
I like it all, though. I'm not
Yeah.
that guy.
You have
But the
pre-Black
Black
album and then
The Black
After
Album
the
was
Black
definitely the
Album.
most overdone one because
Yeah,
everyone always brings that one up instead of bringing up maybe Masters of Puppets. No one ever brings that up anymore. They want to bring up Black Album.
Those Cliff
Master of
Burton
Puppets
records.
is probably one of their best albums.
Yes.
And then, well, second best, Ride the Lightning. It's still my
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah.
Metallica
Can't
album.
forget Cliff Burton's great bass.
That dude
man.
was a monster.
Anesthesia,
Yeah.
pulling teeth.
Monster.
Had a wall
Monster bass
pedal.
player.
He was either a wall pedal or a whammy pedal. I'm not sure why. I think he used a wall pedal. And
You know, it's amazing I can even play the bass because I can barely walk and chew bubble gum at the same time.
Is that right?
I've seen him do it. It's ugly. You don't want to see it.
yeah. You pat your head, added that in there. You're
No,
not. You're not doing that.
Don't ask me to do it.
Chew a gum, butt walking, pat your head. There, yeah, it ain't all coming together.
I'm kidding.
How about Pantera, guys?
I love
I like
Pantera.
I think Pantera
Walk.
kept metal alive through the 90s.
Yeah,
Like when all this stuff we were talking about just now was going on.
yeah.
I think Pantera came in there because you still had your underground, you still had Slayer, you still had all
Helmet.
this stuff. Yeah.
What the alternative '90s alternative music killed was the hair bands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it killed that completely.
There's a story that
Poison.
Janie Lane of Warrant said he went into Columbia
I met
Records.
CeCe DeVille once.
Did you really?
I did.
Was he?
He was nothing. This was after Poison had done split up.
Was he
living-
all hyper and was he just chill?
No, I don't even know how it happened, man. I ended up at a bar. I ended up out with this chick. We ended up knocking on his. She's like, "Oh, I know CeCe DeVille," and sure as shit, she fucking rolled up to his house, knocked on the door. It's like 3:00 in the morning. He comes fucking stumbling out, opens the door. He's like, "The fuck do you want?" It's just like
Rock stars actually sleep, ladies and gentlemen.
He didn't know how.
Yes, they
He's
actually
like,
do
he
sleep.
didn't believe I knew you.
You don't,
Could have
bitch.
called.
You don't know me. Get out of here.
I'm like, dude, I'm really sorry she woke you up for this dumb shit.
Hey,
And we
like, dude,
laughed. But he wasn't even a musician anymore, dude. He was like painting houses and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Like
this
he,
was like between
Yeah.
the reunion and
he was like a house painter.
you hear that, folks? Rock stars don't just do music no more.
They
Now
paint
they're
houses.
painting.
Look, man, you gotta do whatever you gotta. It's a hustle, man.
That's right.
I remember a story Janie Lane of Warrant told that he said he went into Columbia Records and right in the lobby that was right behind the secretary there was a big picture of Cherry Pie record cover. And he'd walk in and they're like, "Oh man, yeah, come on back here," and giving him cigars and, you know, go have some dinner and whatever. And he'd come back like a year later.
It was over.
Well, the picture was gone and Facelift from Alice in Chains, or maybe it was Dirt, actually. I think it was actually Dirt, was up on the wall. And they just kind of shunned him. They're like, "Well, he's not taking appointments today." You know, whoever he wanted to talk to.
I mean, that's the music industry.
man,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it was like, you were my best friend last year, buying me dinner, giving me cigars, and now you don't have an appointment.
I mean,
you're
look,
not taking
man,
appointments
Just
today?
look at Milli Vanilli. I mean,
Oh, that's a whole.
The lipstick guy.
That's a whole different. Yeah,
Those guys were on
they were
fire
on
when they
top
were
of the world,
lip-syncing.
and then they were not.
Yeah.
they
CNC
worked
Music
their way up.
Factory.
CNC music. Oh my god.
And they
remember
would bet
that?
out the truth. That
Those
they
were
don't
same
need.
thing.
Those
yeah,
are fake.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fake. That was fake bands
Vanilla
or whatever.
Ice.
I don't know if Vanilla Ice was very fake,
Ice, baby.
but they were. I mean, CNC Music Factory, Milli Vanilli, Tony, all those guys. Like,
There's a lot of them that was fake.
Oh yeah.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
yeah, he was just an actor.
Yeah.
You know.
Trying to do
An
some-
actor
Speaking-
playing a rapper.
Speaking of bands, let's
Yeah.
jump on this Skullfest 420.
Yeah,
real
let's do
quick.
that.
That's right. Let's hear it.
April 20th, Hair of the Doghouse, 218 South Porter Drive in Richmond, Kentucky. Starts at 420 till close. I want to mention the lineup, if that's okay.
Yes, you can.
yeah.
We got it starting off with Stoner Creek Shakedown, kind of a bluegrass folk. I've not got to see.
I
Have you
like
seen
that.
them? You've been at some of these festivals.
heard them.
Britt shows up before I do.
I got like 2 of their songs last time.
So
So
it's-
burritos, yeah.
It's
No,
kind
they
of
were good.
folk,
man.
like okay. Call Someone.
They're good, man.
Nexus Lives. Baby Wolf. Nick
Love
Nasty's
Baby Wolf.
on here. Nick always puts himself on here. Then I don't. Half the time he doesn't. He gets busy, so he may or may not perform. I'm challenging Nick. If you're listening, I'm challenging you to actually perform at this one. And he may have, and I just always miss it. But I think with Nick, he sits in on so many other acts throughout the night. He's come up on with us, and he's constantly doing stuff. I don't think he has time to do his own stuff, but he is listed here. There's Nick Nasty. Then we got Ryan the Lion.
Ryan the Lion. We had him in studio.
He was up here with us on New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan's a good guy. He's
a cool dude, man.
The backstage passes. And then we've got, I think the backstage passes is the house band at Hair of the Dog.
Yeah,
House.
so I think their name is actually the backstage
Yeah,
passes.
Yeah, and then they had to put they couldn't. Yeah.
I think that's actually the name.
That
of the
is, but he's got passes here because of censorship, I guess.
Yep, censorship.
And Nominix, our buddy Ronnie.
Yep, love Ronnie.
And then we've got Dead Air Dennis and Brian Himes. Now, Brian Himes is Nick Himes' cousin, Dead Air Dennis from Double Q, the old Double Q days. Then we got Slow Kill, some buddies of ours.
Yep, we love Slow Kill.
Slow
We had
Kill,
them at Skull Fest.
John from Slow Kill, man, he was partying with us at the Waffle House at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he had to be in Louisville at a show the next day or Cincinnati or somewhere.
That was at night.
And I'm like, dude, what are you? And he like put $50 in the jukebox and just played AC/DC all night.
Nothing like partying at Waffle House at 4 a.m.
The Paris, we've hit that
Paris
Waffle House so
Pike
much
Waffle
on our
House.
CD in the thank you list. You will see at the very end. Special thanks to the Paris Pike Waffle House.
I live literally right around the corner from that.
Do you really?
Yes.
So you know all about Paris Pike Waffle House, and
it's interesting at 4 o'clock in the morning.
it is. It's interesting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. While I, Zach Sovine, and then us, the Troy Perry Show, and it also has here with CD release party. So we will be selling our debut. It's an EP, but it's 6-song CD. While supplies last, you can get a package deal where you get a CD, a shirt, and an autographed promo poster picture.
Not a bad deal.
Hey, what time do we go on again, man?
We go on at 10:25 p.m.
10:25.
Not a bad start.
See, I'm
time.
glad I
That's right, when the
asked,
crowd
'cause I
starts
would have been
showing up.
late, man. I had like 10:45 stuck in my head. I don't know.
You'd have been there all day, dude.
I know.
He's there before me. He's hanging out. I'll
He's
roll
already
in.
hyped up.
Yeah, man.
I don't roll in
I
at like
like-
9. I roll in about 6. That's why I've not got to see Stoner Creek.
Yeah, man. I like to socialize with the other people, man.
I'll be there
Other
early on.
bands that are
I'm going to be
there,
running that
you know?
merch
It's
table
all
all
about
day.
networking.
Yeah.
I'll be there all day.
Nick Hahn said, "Can we hear some of your music on here?"
Well, how can we make that happen?
I have the songs I can email.
He can send them to you.
Yeah, if you want to email me, or
Will the listeners
we
be able to hear it?
Or we can even just
Bluetooth.
you to the board here.
Do that.
Do that, yeah.
It's Roadcaster
And it'll
Pro.
go through. I mean, you got my permission. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll
don't have to worry about copyright. And I brought a guitar too. If we can do some live stuff as well,
Yes,
if you
we
want
can,
later on
bro.
in the show.
But it's original songs.
Yeah, they're my songs. They're our songs. Britt's playing. I didn't write those bass lines. I just told him what key to put them in.
That's
This
right.
is true.
So it's blinking now. You should show up.
He's setting it up.
Roll up Rollcaster Pro.
This is live, folks.
That's right. It's live and living color.
This isn't like my show where you can say, "Let's go to a commercial break while we set this up."
No,
Nope.
we
You got it
Now,
right
see,
here.
we talk while it's being set up because that immerses the fans in the knowing that we're setting this up.
Oh, everything
same
happens.
time.
Everything.
Which one you want to play, man?
It runs smooth.
Let's do this upcoming single. Hotel.
You want to set
Motel.
it? You want to set it up before we play it? Tell us what it's about, or just tell us the
We
name.
could. You want Motel?
Hey, grab me a water. If you
That's
want
the
to
single coming out anyway.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a song called "Cheap Motel."
We can play
Run us through the
one of your songs
backstory
too.
and
You got songs?
No,
this
he's
is-
just
it's-
it's my stuff.
It's
Oh, do you have your own songs too? No. You're just the bass guy.
I am.
He's the bass guy.
He's the bass guy.
Hey, I'm just a host around here. I
I'm
don't really
just
do
the
much
bass
either. I
guy,
just show
man.
up for the show.
You do things.
I don't do nothing. Don't tell anybody that.
I try to do
Yeah, people
fun
ask me to do
stuff so
something.
he can do whatever it is he
Well,
wants to
Andy, they
do.
got to
Yeah, he's holding up the back end.
They want to see what your hands-on experience is.
Now you should be able to go. I'm gonna pull down our. Well, I'm gonna leave our mics up in case you guys want to say something, or should I just pull the mics down?
No, go ahead and pull them down.
Pull them down.
Listen to it. Yeah, we'll listen to the song. So. Wow, guys, that's an exclusive right there. Cheap Motel by Troy Perry Band.
The Troy Perry Show.
Show.
Right.
That was great, man. Oh, that was another one.
We'll keep
playing something else.
Hold off on that one. Yeah, we recorded that one evening. Like, guys showed up at 6. We started about 6:30 and ended at 9.
Yeah.
6 songs.
Hold on a second. That's not been played anywhere else.
No.
But here.
It got his debut right here.
Wow, the debut, guys. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that was recorded, all 6 songs.
And you
one
can get
session.
these Saturday night.
Yep. We recorded on Friday. It was Good Friday.
Yeah.
And then I spent all day, because I went out of town and did some stuff Saturday. And I spent all day No, I think we recorded that actually like Wednesday.
That was recently. You're talking about Good Friday recently.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
when this was done. We
So
did
this
it on
is
Wednesday
a few-
because Friday I was
It was
doing.
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this
I
was
was
3
busy
weeks
with.
ago.
I was in the middle of a play and did some theater stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude, it was a mess for everybody. Like just trying to get it organized to get us all
because I'm
to
doing
the
stuff
place
and
to-
then day jobs, you know, and then
life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Day
and
jobs
life.
suck.
And then
They just
so
get in
we
the
got
way.
together. It was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I had my radio show Thursday.
Yeah.
And then our opening night was Friday. And then I went out of town Saturday, came back, did the play again. Then the only time I had to work on it was Sunday, which was Easter. So all day Easter, I added guitar solos and redid the vocals. The bass and drums and some other guitars was all live. And then Monday, I sent it off to Nick. And he
Brand
sent them out to
new
be
song, 3-week old song. I'm sure you wrote this song
That's what you call dedication.
before, but
pressed. Oh, yeah.
You've-
I've had it for a while.
yeah.
And it's all true stuff. There's a line in there about it says, "Never thought we'd see the light, chased by robots in the night." A buddy of mine got a hold of some, got a hold of something, got a hold of him.
Okay, yeah.
And it wasn't what he thought it was.
Oh, man.
How can I say that without?
You can say whatever you want to on here.
No, he got some lace stuff. Is what happened. We was
Like some lace
teenagers.
weeds, lace weed.
Yeah, and he don't know what was in it, and we were all hanging out, and like a couple hours later, he's climbing up a wall, and I'm like, "What the heck's wrong with you, dude?" And I didn't protest. It's not my thing, you know.
Yeah.
And even back then, I was like, "He's trying to climb up a wall," and I said, "What in the world's wrong with you?" And he says, "Don't you see him? There's these pink robots chasing me." And another friend who
Makes for a
he
great
got it
song
through,
lyrics.
he was like,
They
"Oh
did.
yeah, that might not be pure stuff." I meant to tell you.
Oh wow!
I
Okay.
hate it when my weed gets laced.
But Cheap Motel is a metaphor for a neighborhood I grew up in, and just things, you know, certain music you'd listen to, certain things you would see, just childhood. It's the whole thing of that album originally was going to be called Chronicles of an American Youth, and these were
where'd you grow up at?
It was in West Virginia.
Okay.
Huntington, West Virginia, but it wasn't a bad neighborhood when I was younger, but it had gotten that way, and that's just a lot of stuff you saw as a teenager. You know, it doesn't matter where you live.
I grew up in the same thing.
Teenagers, the teenage mind absorbs. The 4-year-old mind absorbs a lot, and then the teenage mind distorts that what you absorbed as a child. You know, you're still going through some stuff, and you put that in a weird neighborhood, and you know, you just
All
said,
characters all over the town. We had a guy in our neighborhood called Dookie, and he would go like, "How you doing, Dookie?" And he'd go. It was just a guy that walked around, real skinny. He'd stick out his tongue and go. And he'd
I
go,
got
"How you
Crazy
doing,
Jack."
Dookie?" And then like he'd walk around with a buggy, picking up pop cans and stuff, you know, and he'd just be a character in the neighborhood. You just had characters in the neighborhood.
We got
Oh,
a
yeah.
character in ours called Crazy Jack that's been around for a long time. He still comes through, and he chases kids with a hammer. He sees them with a nice shoes. He's gonna be chasing them with the hammer.
Yeah.
So my uncle actually messes with him. He'll drive by and scream, "Hey, shut your mouth, Crazy Jack!" Crazy Jack turns around and starts chasing the truck at him, wielding that hammer, saying, "You shut your mouth, shut your mouth."
Yeah, there's just crazy motherfuckers in the neighborhoods, you know. Just if you grew up in a
yeah.
neighborhood, you got
Crazy characters.
crazy characters in the neighborhood.
I think we've all
Especially
been
the
there.
hood.
Yeah.
I grew up on the west side of Indianapolis, man. We saw some wild shit.
That's
Oh,
a big
yeah.
city right there.
Yeah, man, there's some wild shit. And every night, every day, everywhere you turn, there's just some weird shit.
Oh,
Like
weird
this-
shit. People in general are weird, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just
I
like-
think we're all aliens on this fucking planet. I don't think we're supposed to
I
be
think
here.
we are the aliens.
Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to be here.
It makes life interesting, man.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. It makes for
makes
good
life-
song lyrics,
If everything
right?
was
It's-
normal,
Oh
it
yeah,
wouldn't be fun.
yeah. Especially Cheap Motel.
Good stories.
Yeah.
man.
There's a
Cheap
line in
Motels.
there that says there's a knock at the door. I don't know who it's for. That's true. That was it was just me and my mom at this place, and she had invited my uncle and some family over for Thanksgiving, and they'd come from out of town. It was the night before. This guy knocked on the door, and I guess he had the wrong door, and he was a drug dealer looking for somebody. And as soon as my uncle answered the door, because we kind of looked through the peephole and said, "Somebody's knocking on the door," and he doesn't look too. It's not somebody you'd want to answer the door to. So my
Yeah.
uncle went over there and said, and answered, as soon as he opened the door, he said, "Oh, wrong door, sorry, wrong door." And he goes, "No, you got the right door. What do you want?" And he just walked on down the street. I always remembered that. I was like 12.
Yeah.
And so that's there's a knock on the door. Don't know who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Just little things like that you you
Yeah.
throw in like soup,
That's called
little
real
ingredients.
musical talent. Because
Yeah.
a lot of today's music, they don't try to write what they experience. It's hard,
Right.
like
I mean, I guess
The
a lot
best
of
music
hip hop
is
is
like
a lot
that.
of stuff you experience. I
except
guess.
for there's some that's also
Sure.
faking it.
Yeah.
I mean, all music is a touch on something.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to come from somewhere. I mean, some people are just good.
Every one of
writers
these
or-
songs are from something that
Just make
happened back
stuff up.
then,
Yep.
whether it be a girlfriend or
Yep.
a best friend or a best friend's girlfriend, and you're just
Or
putting
life
yourself in there.
experiences.
Do y'all see?
I think somebody already did that.
I know we've had like a lot of.
was Jesse.
I guess the hip hop industry has been part of the Billboard charts like recently, right at the top. Like for the last, I don't even know how long. Y'all see rock and roll coming back and being on the Billboard charts like that at some point? Or
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I do
mean,
too.
I do.
I think Foo Fighters has held on to that shirt tail for. They are that shirt tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
got a lot of your. I don't know. I mean, I think there's still
Killers. I guess Killers is pretty good.
Yeah, and you've got like Louder Than Life and all that stuff going on, and all these artists they're still out there playing, but
Blue
But you know the
October's
same
still
thing I
around.
noticed though, like Louder Than Life, man. It's like bands from the 2000s or
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah,
it's still like
like the
but will something new come along?
So what's
I don't know.
new right now that everybody that in rock that everybody's listening to? Like is
There's
a
some
lot of
underground
prog
stuff.
Yeah, there's some prog stuff.
Yeah.
Prog is pretty popular.
There's a cool band
Prog?
called
Yeah.
There's a cool band called Dirty Honey that opened for Guns N' Roses in September here in Lexington.
Hell yeah.
But they're still just that early. Like if that band would have been 30 years ago, they would have already been on the charts.
so what does rock and roll need to put us back?
I don't think it's what rock and roll needs. I think it's the music industry and the way.
You think it's the music industry?
Yeah, I think it's the way.
I agree.
And that's why I think you've seen such a shift from
So is
from major labels to
Uh-huh.
people independently putting out.
so do
their
you
own
think
music.
rock and roll is still like in that mindset that they need to be signed by a big company? Like
Well,
a
I mean,
big,
because you think of rock
record?
and roll, right? Everybody
Yeah.
has this mindset of these massive stadium tours of the '80s,
Yeah.
where Van Halen was selling out, the
A lot
Hoosier
of-
Dome. You had Monsters of
Van
Rock,
Halen.
and
Mm-hmm.
A band like that today would be at
Yeah.
here in Lexington at Manchester or something,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or the
Yeah.
Earl.
or maybe up at Cincy at Riverbend.
Yeah.
maybe.
But back in the day, yeah, I think it's just changed, man.
Yeah.
I think the internet has a lot to do with that. The internet is yin yang. It's good and bad. I mean, it's great that we can.
And it also depends on where you live too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the middle of Kentucky, so it's rock and roll
Buck,
is
Kentucky.
not really like the number one thing for listeners.
No, I don't
in the
even know
state.
what.
You got your whole Tyler Childers, which I'm not down in that.
Oh,
I love
he's
that
great.
stuff.
I mean, I dig Tyler, man.
But
Tyler's
that's
great.
the big
Tyler's
thing going
got
right
some-
now. But then we've got some relatives from California, and they've never heard the name.
yeah, right,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, outside of here, I mean, unless you knew him, I mean, and this guy, he's been out there. He's played Red Rocks.
He's
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, yeah.
He's huge.
huge.
But then you go someplace and they don't. But that happened even as a
Sturgill
kid back
Simpson,
when
huge.
Yeah.
back when music was different. You could name a few mainstream bands and certain people. There was an actor that I was working with in theater. Great guy, very smart guy, very intelligent guy, and we were talking backstage. And we was actually talking medical. We were talking about like defibrillators and pacemakers and stuff. We just got in this conversation. This one lady was a nurse, and we just got in this conversation backstage. And I was talking about how Slash of Guns N' Roses has a defibrillator, and has since he was in his 30s, because he'd drink bottles of Jack, and like 2 or 3 a
Right,
day,
yeah.
and just lived that rock star life. And when you read his book, the first page talks about this defibrillator. When he gets too crazy on stage, it brings him down a little bit. He can feel a jolt. And but going into the conversation, I was talking to this retired nurse, and I wasn't sure if she knew who Slash was, And then this guy, it's like in his mid-30s, is sitting next to me. And I said, there's this musician. I said, Slash, have you heard of Slash? And I really meant her. And she's like, she's in her 60s. And she said, well, yeah, I know who Slash is.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. I said, well, Slash. And the younger guy, he kind of goes, I've heard the name.
Dang, those
Oh
young
wow.
guys. I hate when they're young
So,
guys.
it's, I mean,
Nick trying to call in.
Oh, Nick calling in.
Like I remember, like back in the early 2000s, I was in
Tell him to call
Texas,
him, 'cause he's
and I went to
his
go
phone.
see
Yeah.
an Aerosmith concert.
Nick, call Britt because he's hooked up to the Bluetooth.
Your phone's hooked up, so I'm gonna have him call you.
Oh,
so we don't
there we
have to
go.
switch
Nick,
back.
call Britt.
Yeah, so
We'll
we don't
get
have
you
to
on the
switch
air.
back and forth.
But I hate when a young guy.
Oh, am I still? Is that still playing?
Yeah, that's still you. Yeah.
I hate when a young guy doesn't know who all our classic musicians are.
Right.
When you look at it, you're like,
and yeah, there's an age thing there, and
Yeah.
life's different. But I can remember being 12 and 13 years old, listening to Slash, but knowing he grew up listening to Joe Perry, who also grew up listening to Jimmy Page, who grew up listening to Eric Clapton, who grew up listening to like Robert Johnson and the old Chicago blues guys. You know, I knew who all those
exactly.
people were. So
on the
age isn't
phone.
an excuse. It's just a matter of what your interest is. Okay, we
Answer.
got
I
Nick
did.
coming up.
He's on.
Nick, you on there?
I tried to answer it.
He's there.
I heard something. You.
I'm here.
There you go, Nick. What's up, man?
Nick,
Nasty.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How-
The podcast has been great so far.
Hey, dude.
yeah.
Right on, man.
Hey, dude, how's rehab treating you?
Yeah, I'm out doing blow off of sweet hay.
Yep.
Did you
and
like
off
that?
titties.
You
No,
got
he
that?
really is. He really is at home with his daughter.
You got
He
that
didn't get
laundry
his-
done?
Well, my daughter goes to bed in 5 minutes, so I'm literally just getting ready for bed. I'm watching AEW, watching your all show, and tending to my daughter.
You know what I told?
yeah.
I was talking to Nick earlier, and I said I've been up at like 5 in.the.morning doing some stuff. He goes, "Man, that's about the time I get up. You should hit me up." I'm like, "What's he doing up?"
That's
at
my
5?
prime time. Like, I get the most energy of all my day between 5 a.m. and
He's like,
7
"I'm
a.m.
just trying to get
and then
these
I'm
women
done.
up. I'm trying to get these girls up in the house."
Hey, Nick, let me ask you. We was talking about rock and roll and why it's not up on the top of the billboards anymore. What's your idea of trying to get it back up there? I know you're a big, you got a little record
Well,
company.
I think nowadays, I think back in the day it was at the top more because it was the only genre. Like, there wasn't so many different styles of music now. And where there's so many different styles, it leaves all those spots open for so many different styles. And every once in a while, you'll get that rock group that hits big, like the Nickelback or the System of the Down or something like that to come around. So it's probably going to take something like that, like a
Godsmack.
high profile, high energy, poppy rock band to take something like that. I think, but who knows? Who knows what
a
people
lot of
like
a
anymore?
lot of competition too. I saw, speaking of Slash, there's this meme going around that says musician recording an album in 2024, and it's this very Ivy League looking guy sitting in front of a laptop with a guitar.
yeah.
Yeah,
like a door.
exactly.
And below it shows a picture of Slash that's passed out on the ground, and he's got a bottle of Jack Daniels next to him, and his hat, and it said rock musicians in 1987.
Yeah.
I think
it seems like right now country music's the biggest thing. You even got hip hop artists
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
That's
country
true.
stars.
Like Beyonce.
But it's really the popularities in if you could say it, like the rap music or the mutt. If you have dogs, it's the mutt music. It's that mixture of a couple of different styles that everybody likes. Everybody's so diverse nowadays, and they want to turn on the radio and just hear what they like. That just that good diversity of a mixture of the group, like that the big guy who's the big Jelly Roll. Like,
Jelly
he's a
Roll,
mixture
yeah.
of it all, and people are loving him. You know.
Does anybody turn on the radio really?
Man, I'm
It's-
Yeah, not really. Not unless I'm listening to WCYN.
I
know, right?
was working down WCYN one night, and we ordered some food, and this girl, God bless her, she's probably 16, 15, old enough to deliver
DoorDash.
food, yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, "What is this place?" And we said, "Right," because she walked in while we were on the air, and I was like, "Shh, don't say nothing," And we got off the air and played a song, and she goes, "What is this place?" And we said, "Radio station." Is this like a podcast? I said, "No, it's radio station." Radio, like that thing in my mom's car on her dash that she does the GPS through, and I'm like, yeah, just give us our food.
Exactly, man. Like these new brand new kids,
Yes.
man, out here,
Yeah.
they don't know, man. They
These
don't
new
know.
kids
Podcast is the new radio, I
These
think.
new kids need to start tuning into YouTube, go back and research, find these bands,
Right.
find what's really
And
pop.
the internet, that's where the internet's good. It's bad and good. It's made things so competitive, And a kid can record an entire. We recorded this our CD. We recorded on my computer in a spare room that I've converted into a studio. And
look at this place.
Look at this place right here.
This is a studio.
This back in the day would have been a radio station out on a mountaintop somewhere.
Yep.
You know, or a huge studio somewhere. Radio stations used to be a big deal in a high rise somewhere. Now you can just open it up right here in someone's house, or in this case, a business. You know, a strip mall. But I think
you gotta love it, you know.
Do what?
I said, but you gotta love it, you know, being able to do that at home and being able to do that right now. It's
That's
a blessing
the
and
of it.
You know,
you can do so much. There's so much competition. Whereas before, you had to have money to go into a studio. You had to be discovered. And all that. Now you've got kids like Justin Bieber who can just put a video out on YouTube or TikTok and get discovered. That kid wouldn't have got discovered in the 80s and 90s. And that's not decrediting his talent. That's just saying that you didn't have that availability.
Yeah, you definitely. It's not.
Think of all the artists that didn't get discovered
I know
because it wasn't that easy.
You definitely got more people to be able to get their music out there, but I think you have less superstars now because there's so many.
Yeah.
Well, guys, real quick, I see Troy's got his guitar up, so let me say a couple things real quick. And
I'm just noodling, dude. Let them know who you are. You just kind of popped on here, so those who don't know who Nick Nasty is.
Well, check it out. You're listening to the calling in of Nick Nasty, CEO of Skullface Records.
Okay, Crush you did.
Tomorrow night, you can find us on WCYN from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be doing a live show. We have special guests Zach Savine, Ryan the Lion, and of course the Troy Perry Show will be in the studio. And then April 20th, Hair the Doghouse, 218 South Porter Drive, Richmond, Kentucky. We have the Troy Perry Show having their CD release party and headline of the night. We got Zach Savine, Why Lie, Slow Kill coming down I-64 to blow the roof off the place. We have Lexington legend Dead Air Dennis and Brian Himes will be performing. Anonymous, the Backstage Passes, Ryan the Lion, Baby Wolf, Nick Nasty, Lexus Lives, Call Someone, the Stoner Creek Shakedown. You guys be there. Hair the Doghouse, April 20th. Nice Guy Indie Podcast. I love you, dude. You guys always are having the baddest ass podcast shows out of Lexington, Kentucky. I hope to see you guys there. And I'm getting off the phone. Love everyone that I see in this little picture, except for the real ugly one on the right.
Hey, man, we love you, dude, man. You're welcome here anytime. You know that.
Take care, brother.
I don't know where.
That was Nick Himes.
Nick Himes of Skullface Records. There you go. He's the one throwing this shindig on Saturday. He will be on my show tomorrow night, as he stated, 8 p.m. You can check it out locally, 101.3 FM, 1400 AM. And you can also check it out on the free WCYN app and WCYN.com. And we'll be having some live stuff, kind of like here, with some musicians, as he stated. They'll probably be bringing some guitars in. And it's always fun having a Skullface show on my program. And then I'll probably have a stack of vinyl records to kind of mix in the, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Knocking over your stuff.
No, that's good. That's good. It's a small
we've been
place.
on your show before.
Yeah, you guys have been there. That was a blast.
Yeah.
We got to do it again sometime.
Do it. Pop down tomorrow if you're not doing anything. We'll get you on.
Well, I think we have a show tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah, we got a show tomorrow. It's going to be
You notice
Good All's Country Kitchen.
All right. They come in here. Or you going there?
They're gonna be coming here.
Coming in here because you guys do mobile.
We go out and do clips of wrestling shows, and we
did Skullfest.
We did Skullfest. We did a thing down there. We'll go out and do a podcast every once in a while. It's a process, but we can do it.
Right.
Yeah, you guys had it set up pro. You had the tables and the mics and everything, and you were just grabbing musicians as they walked by.
Yeah, it's always fun.
I wasn't there 2 minutes, and they grabbed me, and we did a quick interview.
I would love to do more of them. I really would, but life is in the way sometimes. Are you gonna play something?
Oh, I'm just doodling, man.
If you want to play something, man, we'll turn them other mics down and let you hit it.
I thought, where did my bass player go?
He went to
go drop a quarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to the bathroom. So
he just disappeared, didn't he?
Yep, to drop that quarter.
They got wrestling on this big screen over here in front of me. You ever notice Nick Himes is big into? He's doing some promotion on wrestling.
He used to be a wrestler, yeah.
He used to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Did you hear? It comes out, and when he gets into that promo stuff, he's just talking.
Yeah.
If you change the words, it's like Friday night. I'm yours, mine. I'm going to take that title, and it's going to be mine. And I'm going to get in the ring with you. And it's just like, I mean, you can hear
everything's wrestling, man. Everything's wrestling.
It's like he was saying, Saturday night live, Skullfest 420. That's no different than Saturday night live. We're going to get in the ring. It's going to be
We're going to take that title, brother.
We're going to take that title. Yeah, he's got that wrestling voice going on.
Yeah, it's all pro wrestling, man. Life's pro wrestling, I think.
That's right.
That's
Life
how this
is a work,
podcast
brother.
got started, right? It was love for wrestling. I mean,
we started. I wanted to do like conspiracies and weird stuff, and just like get out there and get my point out there. And then I thought, well, if I get my point out there, I'm gonna get canceled. Let's do wrestling. So
something more.
Gonna get canceled, brother.
but it's like you have it's like you do interviews, and if you don't have time to do background on people, like it's hard to like have a guy come in, do an interview, and if you didn't research him in the background, he could be some fucking dude from down the street acting like he's a professor at UK or something, and not really be that guy.
And then just makes you look bad whenever you post that.
Yeah,
And the viewer knows the truth.
So if I have pro wrestlers in here, everybody know, all the pro wrestlers know each other. We've seen them at the shows and this and that. So, and they can give their backgrounds,
Right.
they're celebrities. You know, they're
Right.
little celebrities in their own our own world. And in the world of wrestling, night we're known all around the world as part of the podcast in the world of wrestling.
Right.
Even you guys, you musician guys, you know, I see that you're down at the radio station, so I have to really do your background. You know what I'm saying? Then you bring him, and then Nick co-signs for everybody. You know,
Right.
It's like, and then I got some rap guys that come in here, local rap guys that come in here. Like, you just don't know who.
Slap 'em
If you
all.
don't do your background, you're liable to
Right.
have some freaking piece of
Yeah.
shit in there telling a
Some
story.
weirdo
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
man.
Shows up and tells a lie through their teeth, and you're like,
Yeah. So you never.
Shit, I don't know if I want to.
And it's okay. It's all good, you know. It's all good if it's a lie and this and that. But then you don't know. Like, is this guy a pedophile or
And
is this
it's-
guy
Right.
like
and then,
you
and then
know?
someone shows up, they're like, someone that's been watching, be like, those motherfuckers had that pedophile on there.
Yeah, you know, you
Cancels
never,
us.
you never know. You never know. So you know, we
You gotta check it out, man.
So we kind of like
We got Jumping Trey.
these guys are big wrestling fans. I'm a big wrestling fan, so we just thought we'd start doing wrestling, and then we're gonna pepper in a little bit of our own interests in
Stuff like
yeah.
like tonight.
Yeah,
we got a South Carolina guy tuning in.
Right.
Jumping Trey. Put it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he just Chinese said, "Oi, hell yeah, from SC,
All right.
Or that's Snapchat or South Carolina. We don't know.
South Carolina, not Snapchat." There's more than one SC, Andy.
Yeah.
Should we do
Snapchat
one,
is-
Britt?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
You want
Let
to play
it
bass
rip.
on it?
Nah, dude, I
can get it
I
working.
can't get no. You can't get that string tuned.
You do backup vocals.
There wasn't a.
Nah.
There wasn't.
No.
It's all good, man.
What should we do?
I wish we could
I don't
match
know,
the
whatever you
concert
want to do,
bass.
man. I'm not much of a singer, but I can pretend for a minute.
He was supposed to do backup on the CD, and then he did his bass and left and did some touch up, and then
He's like, I'm not singing.
yeah, he just left. We didn't talk about it anymore.
Can
It
you
had to get
sing,
done,
Brett,
so
or no?
I did all the backup vocals, but Britt was supposed to be on it.
I don't,
probably a
I
great
don't-
singer. You just-
I don't think I can sing at all, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I used to do this guy I was in a band with before. He would make me sing like John Cougar songs in this band.
Oh wow, that's what ruined you.
Sucking on chili dog.
Because
Sucking on chili dog.
'cause I could-
outside take the free.
I could kind of do a pretty decent John Cougar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I grew up in Indiana, man.
Oh
So,
yeah, John.
So,
yeah.
So like,
I think he's a. I've seen him at Farm Aid '95. I think it was. I love John Cougar. Like they say he's gone crazy lately, but I don't know.
I've caught that. Like he's calling people out in the
Yeah,
audience, and
doing
He
weird
gonna fight
shit.
all the audience.
Yeah.
He gonna get done.
He's
I remember
turned
I
woke
had
or something. I don't know.
I had a 45 that had like "Hurt So Good" on one side of it. And I don't even remember what the hell was on the B side of it.
Probably Jack and Diane or something.
I don't know. It wasn't Jack and Diane. It was something else that was out at that time.
whatever
But-
the B side was.
Yeah, it was a B side. It wasn't Jack and Diane though.
No, it was its own single.
Yeah.
Same album though.
Yeah, and then I had a Tom Petty That was another. That was
Tom Petty's great.
Tom Petty is great.
Yeah.
It was
Tom Petty passed away.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a
refugee.
shocker.
Refugee.
Yeah, it
I
was a
think.
shocker.
Refugee.
Yeah.
The biggest shock was Prince passing away.
Oh yeah,
right?
man, that dude was an
Back in
amazing
2016.
artist.
He played all of his music too, right? He played all of his. He could play any
He
instrument.
wrote everything.
Yeah, but he can play any instrument. As
He
well.
can
yeah.
also play basketball inside his jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And
dude-
pancakes.
And he can make pancake. Was it pancakes or omelets?
Yep,
He can-
pancakes.
Waffles. Was it pancake?
Waffle
Yep,
pancakes.
it's pancakes.
Yeah.
It's pancakes.
Oh, that's some great stuff. That Dave Chappelle stuff of Prince. That was
Yep.
good.
He wasn't much of an actor though.
Who,
Oh, Prince?
Yeah,
No,
he
no.
Wasn't, he wasn't much of an
Purple
actor.
Rain wasn't that great of a movie.
Purple
but-
Rain soundtrack was. I look
was
at that
the best
soundtrack
part of
like
the
it's an
movie.
album, but it wasn't a bad movie. It got the point across. But yeah, he was very quiet and timid, but he was anyway.
Yeah.
He just kind of played himself.
He was playing himself,
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
played himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
thought
that's
8 Mile
basically
was
what he was doing.
a
Just the-
modern version of Purple Rain.
Just
kind
the
of.
coolest
Yep.
cat in the room, dog. The coolest cat in the
man.
room, man. Like,
Speaking of Purple Rain, Dolly Parton does a cover of Purple Rain. That
Really?
sent
That's cool.
chills.
where'd you get those glasses at?
They were in the other one.
Oh, they're mine, right?
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do, man?
Okay. You trying to look like me?
I'm just.
You got to grow a beard, man.
I can't go.
It's not a beard that's on your.
He's also got to get the silver hot
I just
cake.
do the soul patch. I've had
See if I can do that acoustic.
I'm gonna turn these other
Whatever you
mics
want.
down. That
Whatever
way
you
you
want,
can.
man. You do.
That way
do
you can
bro.
play your song, brother.
This is we'll try it. This is called Alone. It's off the CD, but it's much heavier. It's full band. I've never tried this acoustic, so we'll see what happens. Do a verse of it anyway.
Well, yeah, just lay a verse out, man. It'll be cool. I might try to pretend like I'm gonna sing some backup vocals. We'll see how bad it sounds.
the words. I'd sing. Live Nice Guy Indie Podcast. We got live music in here today.
Bottles, my only friend. Empty, I'm alone again. Memories from the past. Emotions never last. Seasons changing, I'm alone at last. Night is the day, nothing stays the same. Driving me insane, and I'm alone again. There you go.
Oh man,
One verse.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Anytime you want to break out into music, just let me know. We'll do it.
We'll do
I do want to. I really would like to do that. Maybe like set up a little thing in the other room and maybe have like a little acoustic concert at some points.
That'd be cool, man.
That would be cool.
Y'all be the first ones. How about that?
Yes, y'all would be.
Right
do
on.
Last Train. We've done Last Train acoustic. This is off CD.
I love acoustic.
Back up a little bit. When they lay me beneath the ground, hear that lonesome sound, like a train cross town, headed southbound. this bottle comfort's been my only friend, sharing memories from my past till the darkest end. Oh, dear friends, don't look for me. I'll be riding for free on that train coming round. Headed southbound. There you go.
Lay me down.
One verse.
Hell yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. Are these songs on the album there, or just
Yes, that was Alone, the first one, and the second one was Last Train.
Love it.
And they are
Last
both.
Train's great.
It's actually the first song. Alone's the first song, and Last Train's the last song. So
There you go.
Hey, that
You
makes
got
sense
the
too.
bookends for
beginning
you.
and the end.
Wendy said
Since
amazing.
you got the beginning and the end.
And Wendy's got tacos at home for you.
Yep, you got tacos, boss.
Ain't getting us no tacos.
Oh, Baby Wolf is tuning in as well.
What's up, Wolf?
Baby Wolf.
Baby Wolf.
We're not getting him back in here. I wasn't here
Yes,
when
we
he
do,
was here.
but
Baby Wolf.
I mean, I
Baby
tell you what, he
Wolf
blew me
doesn't
away with
mean,
that freestyle.
He doesn't mean every rose has its thorn.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in.
I tell you what, they shouldn't be sleeping on all this great talent that's coming out to Skullfest, because all these bands, they put in their heart and soul to everything that they do. Baby Wolf definitely blew me away with the freestyle they did last time he was here in this studio. Man, when I heard him freestyle, I was like, damn, that blew away. The first freestyle we ever had.
Hair of the Dog house is right off the interstate, guys. It's not very far to find. So if you guys are,
Yeah, I
coming
don't think
from
it's
Lexington-
right way in town. Or
No, it's
anything.
right off the
That's
interstate. I
right.
think it's close to the cookout right there off the interstate. I think.
And you got Donnie
Yeah,
Green
it's
will
like
be there.
I think when I looked on the map, like that road has like the two little funky side roads that go down the
Yeah.
main road.
Yeah, it's
And,
like right off the main
yeah, it's
bypass
like the
there. I
very
think.
first little jaunt onto
Yeah.
the little side cut down lane.
So if you're coming from Lexington, I think it's the second Richmond exit. If you're coming from the other way, I guess it's maybe the first. I don't know. Richmond exit there, but I think
I've
it's
not been there yet,
yeah.
but I'm looking forward.
They got to come out there. 'Cause I'm telling you, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait. We've been
A lot of good
we've been
bands.
we've been looking forward to this for weeks, man. It's-
Yeah, we've been practicing.
Have you guys been playing anywhere else, or y'all do?
No,
y'all
just
don't play live on a
worked on
regular?
the recording and getting it out and shirts, just merch made. And
I hear that. Sometimes you got to work.
Let me ask you. You mentioned acting.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Is Troy Perry an actor too?
He plays one on the stage anyway.
Yeah, where
I'm
you?
not an actor, but I
Does that
play
mean
one
that
in
Troy
a theater.
Perry's not your real name and you're actually
so you're on
acting?
stage in a theater. Where at?
Just Raw's Opera House in Cynthiana, Kentucky.
Okay.
It was right around the
Nice.
corner from WCYN.
Okay,
I know the owner.
that's a
I-
legendary place, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's historic, and it's supposed to be the biggest. If people that's into that, that'd be a cool podcast to do sometime. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Kentucky, and you put a lot of hours and late nights
wanna go
rehearsing
there.
in there. You start to kind of feel like you're seeing some stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. But yeah, I know the one of the owners lived on my street at one time, so I kind of knew him, and I've got to know all of them because of the theater. But I was in there one day watching one of the new Star Wars movies, and I saw that they were doing The Odd Couple live production, and I was always a fan of the old TV show and the old original movies from the '60s.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, man, I really like The Odd Couple. If you ever need any help, let me know. And I meant like
Backstage shit.
Yeah, sweep it up or something.
We got
being an usher just so I could watch it. And he's like, okay, I'll keep you in mind. It's 2 days later, he texted me, said, you still interested in helping? And I said, yeah. He said, you want to play the part of Vinny? I said, play a part. I just meant, take out the trash.
Sweeping
or
up,
something.
yeah.
And he goes, I've never done this. I've never been on stage. Just sure you have. You're on stage all the time. I was like, playing guitar,
Right.
not
Yeah.
acting. It's the same thing. Don't worry about it. Just show up tomorrow. And Jody Hendricks directed that one.
I want to be in a play.
I do too.
It was fun. It was really fun, and we spent a lot of time together. And it was basically one of the poker buddies. So we sit around a table like this while the two main characters argue behind us. And stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
Not the TV show, but the movie. Right? There was a movie.
There was a movie and a TV show. It's all based off the same idea.
It's all the same thing, but the different actors did the movie, right?
Yeah. But the play's more like the movie.
Yeah, more like the movie.
More like how they ended up as roommates and all that. And I missed it. I mean, you spent 6 months with people, and I know there was people in the audience that said, I really felt like you guys were old poker buddies. Well, we kind of were, because we sit there and we faked it. None of us really played, but we looked like we were real, like we'd been sitting there for years, playing cards together while the world goes on around you. And I missed it. And a year later, I tried out for a play called "You Can't Take It With You," and they had me as a xylophone player. And once I realized xylophone is set up like a piano, I started just playing stuff in the background. And that's it's written by the same person that wrote Odd Couple. And this was a different director, Becky Smith, but she cast me as the musician, which was just this crazy guy that played a xylophone throughout the whole play. And it took place in the 30s, I think. And I grew a Clark Gable mustache and wore a cardigan, the whole thing. And then I took a break for a while. And then a year ago, I did House of Blue Leaves, and I played a Hollywood producer that comes in. And I don't come into the third act. But I had me all dressed up. It was 1960s, but I'm all pimped out like this big Hollywood producer.
That's awesome.
And then I found out Jody was doing 12 Angry Men, which was about a jury, the hung jury basically. And he renamed it 12 Angry Jurors because we had females in the cast. And I knew it was Jody, and I thought I'm going to do another Jody Hendrix film, not film, but play.
Yeah.
And that's what I just wrapped up last month.
Wow.
This month.
Okay.
April.
Okay.
No,
let us know about that stuff when you're doing that stuff. We'll tell everybody. We'll tell everybody here to come down there.
Last month, end of last month.
And next time you're doing it, let us know. We'll let everybody know to come down there.
Yeah, we did 5 runs of that, 2 weekends, and it went really well. I thought, how are we going to get people to pay attention to just 12 people sitting around a table? It wasn't that at all. I mean, there's fights that goes on because somebody's saying this guy's guilty and somebody's saying no, I think he's innocent, and next thing you know, you're thinking I'm going to be a witness to another murder in here because heads start bumping. And there was a lot of stuff. That thing was written in the 50s, and he made it modern times just to prove the point that a lot of the prejudices and a lot of the ignorance that was going on then is still going on today. It still fits.
Facts.
And that was the whole point that he was trying to get across. But it's that was a fun play, and I got to do I got 2 credits, one for playing juror number 12. We didn't have names, just like when you was on, like if you were really on a real jury, and I got to be over the music because all the music you heard during the music coordinator, they booked me as that because all the music you heard pre-show, post-show, and during the intermission was me, and I made it all like crime related. I Shot the Sheriff was in there.
Cool.
A few other things, Chain Gang, From the Pretenders, all this stuff. I threw in some like Skinner and some old bluegrass stuff, but it kind of got kept with the like a true soundtrack should be.
You see yourself directing a play at some point?
Nah, I don't know, man. There's a lot that goes into that.
You have to be a director's assistant or something first.
Yeah,
right?
I'd probably
stage
maybe want to be
manager
the
or something
stage
like that.
manager or something. I'm working on one now that's about the history of Cynthiana, and they want me to do the music for it and do some stagehand stuff backstage. And it's coming up in May, just a 1 weekend thing. The owners of the theater are putting it together and playing all the parts. It's more of a skit thing, like Saturday Night Live. Like they're just going to come out and do these skits.
Oh, really? That sounds great.
And they were impressed with the music I did for 12 Angry Jurors, so they asked me if I'd do music and then help out a little bit backstage. So I was like, yeah, I'll keep my foot in the door anyway.
Heck yeah. And you say they play movies there too?
Oh, yeah. There's top-notch Hollywood movies gets played. They played all, like anytime this new Star Wars movie comes out, you can see it there. Anytime any of the like just about any of the Disney stuff.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work to that place here over the last few years.
Remodeled it. It looks great in there, but still kept that old essence to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful in there now.
I've never been down there. I'd heard about it a few times, and I'd love to. I'm going to come down there and visit at some point. I mean,
You should come down in is it October when they do the ghost walks?
Yeah.
They do the ghost walks. And
yeah, I heard that Cynthiana's a haunted place, right?
I love.
Yeah. Well, the Opera House is haunted.
Yeah, the whole city's supposed to be on it, right?
Well, I used to work in the store that was connected.
Right next, like 2 stores down or something.
Yeah, but it was actually physically connected
Yeah.
to. Like in the back of that store, there was the original owner of Roz. There was a peephole in this kitchen, and if you open that up, you could look straight through into the movie theater. Like you could see the screen. So she used to come in there and sit
Wow.
and just open that little window, and she'd
And
watch
watch movies and
Oh wow, that's cool.
Right,
That's
yeah.
cool.
But I swear, there's ghosts in there.
Oh,
Yes,
I bet.
I want to
There's
see.
Yeah,
it.
And
ghosts are real.
And I am 100%.
Don't believe the hype, guys. Ghosts are real, right?
Yes, ghosts are.
I am 100% a skeptic, but I was in there. I was in the bathroom. There was nobody in the store, and I see open the door, open the door,
Wow.
and it was closed.
Oh wow. So somebody turned the knob.
Yeah, like the knob turned, door open, and there's nobody else in the store.
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm like
That
3 feet
means he
away
caught
holding
real
my
evidence.
dick. I can't reach the door, without pissing on the floor.
Yes.
People don't understand that there are.
And like goosebumps instantly. It was just like I instantly got
You're probably getting them
cold.
now, right?
Yeah, it was
'cause
just
that's
it was freaky, man.
That's freaky as hell.
My dad
it's
used to
crazy.
see ghosts all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't understand that ghosts do exist.
When you go on those ghost tours, they'll take you around town. They'll take you to a graveyard, and they'll take you to a couple buildings, the old jailhouse, and they come back around.
Is
and
Roger still the I really does a great job.
Tons of them. Roger does it. The mayor, James Smith,
Yeah.
does it. 2 or 3 other people, and they get completely dressed up and
Yeah,
they carry a
man,
lantern.
tuxes.
Yeah, getting these old tuxes, and then they take you back into the theater, and you sit down in the actual theater, and they go on and they show you a little 15-minute movie that shows you different areas of the theater itself that has had ghosts, because they get a lot of ghost hunters will rent the place for the night. That's
Yeah, they've had I think the Ghost Hunters TV show people.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Some of the guy, the guy that wrote what is it? The zombie. What is that? What's that?
Oh yeah, The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
he came from
the
down there,
creator and the artist. I've had the artist on my show,
Hell yeah.
Tony Moore.
Tony Moore, like twice.
Oh
I've
really?
had
Is
him
that the
on my
guy
show.
that started the
He was
comic books and stuff?
He was the artist. Yeah, he did all the. You can tell his stuff. It's signature. You can just tell. He did. Speaking of Tyler Childers, he did a couple. He did some artwork for one of his albums, and he actually did some anime for a music video where Tyler Childers is a cartoon.
Oh,
and
wow,
that was Tony
yeah.
Moore.
Oh wow!
That was why I had him on the show. The record had just come out, and I got it on vinyl. And
People don't understand that he's big in the comic. He started big in the comic industry.
He did.
Like he started doing comics.
Tony Moore, yeah.
comics, and then like got into the comics, and then started the Walking Dead, and then became a TV show, and it's like freaking. It's a cult thing. It's following like they
The other guy, the
No,
creator.
I mean, their names on a sign, like going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cynthiana's.
But Tony was
Cynthiana's
more.
a popular little city in some
Kentucky
parts of the
deserves
world.
love.
Tony's. I don't know about the other guy. I don't know.
He
him.
was
I'm
the
not-
writer. He was like
The other guy was the creator and
he was
writer.
he was the writer. He was the
And
story.
Tony was the
artist.
the artist. And Tony, I don't know about the other guy, but they were best friends in high school, and
Yeah.
they created this thing. But Tony, he told a story that he was, while he was in Cynthiana, he was going around, I guess, drawing pictures of like police cars, or drawing pictures, going around taking maybe it was taking pictures of the town, so he could go home and draw them into this comic book. Which, if you ever have the very first Walking Dead comic book, it's Cynthiana. It's got Pike Street and all this stuff on it.
Hell
The theater.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, like the very first episode of The Walking Dead, where he comes,
It's based on that, yeah.
it's based on like the sheriff's where the
Sheriff's Department.
sheriff's
all that,
department
yeah.
off. Yeah, it's based off of.
A lot of
and if
people-
you go and
that
you drive
original
downtown
book.
and look at
lot of
Cynthiana
people
Sheriff's
don't know
Department,
that.
it's kind of shaped just
Yeah, a lot of
very
people don't
Like,
know
similar.
they filmed it down in Carolinas or somewhere, but
Right.
that's
Georgia, I think.
Georgia. But they he tells the story of that he was going around taking pictures, and these cops were like, "What are you doing?" Somebody must have called and said, "There's this crazy long-haired guy in a trench coat, all dressed in black," because that's how he was, and he was very D&D.
Yeah.
And they're like, he's taking pictures of our houses and our cars and stuff, and he's just doing it so he can go home and put all this out. And he's drawing. He made what became the Walking Dead.
Yep.
And he was telling me, he was on my show. He told me, he said, now here, I came back and we did Walking Dead Day, and he said those exact same cops were my escorts into town and stuff. And he said it's kind of funny how things
That's awesome.
come around.
Well,
And they were just doing their job. Somebody called and said, and he didn't get in trouble. They were just like, "Well, you're freaking people out."
Yeah.
Is it Kirkman?
Just normal.
Kirkman,
Yep,
yes.
Kirkman.
Kirkman is the other guy. Yeah.
I wish that more people would know that Walking Dead is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff comes out of Cynthiana, man. Or out of Kentucky altogether, but Cynthiana,
Very creative place.
yeah.
Well, that Derby winning horse was born there.
the Derby Wing Horse was born there. Jerry Springer's wife is
Yep.
from Cynthiana.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Springer was down at one of the. We actually did the show there. My old band, when I was in Battle Grove, an old band. It was during one of the summer festivals when they have that. In the summer, they do like once a month. They do a free music festival, and Jerry Springer was hanging out down there. Just like that year or two
Right.
before he died.
He's passed. Yeah, he's passed.
Yeah.
That's what I was
He was
saying.
just down there with his
Rest in
wife. His
peace.
wife come down to visit her family, and he was with them.
Yeah, I remember
wow.
somebody saying that he had popped in Bianchi's or something.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah,
he like
was coming
the
in to eat.
mayor of Cincinnati?
Yeah, he was mayor of
Yes,
Cincinnati
mayor of
way
Cincinnati.
back, way back before he was
And
had a
he
Jerry
paid
Springer
a
show.
prostitute with a personal check. That's how he lost his job.
Yeah, it was
That's
something.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you got to pay him.
he,
Yep, you do.
He made his fame off his show, and then the creators of Raggedy Ann, they used to have Raggedy Ann Festival. I think it's out now, but the creators of Raggedy Ann, the doll, is from Cynthiana.
Really?
Yeah. What else? Gary Sandy. He's an actor, old 70s actor from like morning soap operas, but he was also on WKRP. Remember WKRP?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was on WKRP.
Which one was he? I used to love that show.
He was Andy.
that was one
he
of
was
my
Andy
favorites.
Travis.
Was
Remember
that
the
Lonnie
theme
Anderson?
songs.
Right?
Yeah, with Lonnie. He was dating Lonnie Anderson back then.
Yeah.
He was Andy Travis, and he was the guy that came in and switched it from classical to rock and roll.
Yeah,
Puts
yeah.
his big Kiss poster up on
Yes,
the wall.
yes.
That's his mom lived next door to me for years.
That's
Wow.
why.
And I tried to get him on the show. He talked to me for like 2 hours on the phone, and he's like, "We're going to do it, man. We'll do this." He's 70-some years old now. And he's like, he told me some good, some old stories about his mother, and she was a sweet lady, and she was alive then. She just passed like a year ago. She was 102, I think. Wow. And he says, "Man," he says, "dig," and he's cool, man. He's like, "Dig this, man." That's how he talks. He's like, "Dig this, man." He goes, I'll be 70, whatever it was, 73, or maybe he'll be 70 or whatever
Right.
it was his next birthday. And I had the WKRP box set sitting in the room where I was talking to him at. I said, "Man, you don't look a day over 30 here." He goes, "You looking at that box set?" I was like, "Yeah, you're edged in time right here." He says, "Well, I'm not. I don't look like it in the mirror." But he's in his 70s. All those old actors are. But he was cool. He promised to do a spot on my show. He's in and out of the area all the time. He's got homes throughout different areas, all through the United States. But Roger Slade, he did Best Little Whorehouse in Texas Broadway with Ann Margaret. So instead of Burt Reynolds and
Right.
Dolly,
Burt
It
Reynolds
was-
gone too.
Burt Reynolds gone too. It was him and Ann Margaret, and his mother used to talk about how she'd go eat dinner with Ann Margaret in New York during the holidays. And then Roger, the owner of Ross, he had a poster signed from Ann Margaret and him that he had donated to him for something, and I think a benefit thing. And it said Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and had
Was it Gary
That's
Sandy?
yeah, Gary Sandy.
Gary Sandy. That's him right there, right?
Yep, that's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
That's him. That's him back in the day.
Yeah.
That's more. Let me see. What's that right there?
Yeah, I think it's him right here, I think.
No, it's
All the way over there. What's that look like? It's too clear for me. I can't see it. No, I don't know who that is. That's some
That's Hugh
writer.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's Hugh
It was
Wilson.
just blank. It was faded out. But yeah, that's Gary Sandy. He's a cool guy. He's called me 2 or 3 times about getting on the show, and he's like, "We'll do it. We'll do it. The guy that played Johnny Fever, which was the big DJ there, he had passed away, and I thought, man, this would be a great time to do a tribute and have Gary on the show, but he was in Florida at the time. And he called me back, and he's like, man, I would have loved to have done it, but I just couldn't. I wasn't in the area. And he said, I want to do it when it's something special like that. I don't want to just come on just because it's radio. And he said, something big goes on, we'll do it, like the anniversary of WKRP or something. You know, it doesn't have to be a death of an actor.
Baby,
That's him right there, I think.
Yeah. Let me see.
if you ever wonder.
Yeah, that's him now. That's basically what he looks like right now.
Gary Sands.
there.
Still a young-looking guy.
Whatever
Yeah.
you think.
78 years old.
He's talking really cool stuff about like how soap operas were live in the 70s, and you couldn't if you messed up your lines, and it was all on tape, you know, and it was coming at you live, and you only had a couple cameras. If you messed up, you were told once. If you messed up a second time, he said, you ever seen those old soap operas where it says the part of John Smith is now played by?
Yes.
He said that's usually what happened. He said
Wow.
you screwed up and you got served your walking papers, and they bring somebody else in play your part.
What a harsh thing.
With a harsh
Yeah,
thing,
they used to do them live. Yeah.
They used to do them live, and he then when he did WKRP, you know, they'd I think he said they would do it twice and film the second one, or they filmed both and then put the two of the best together or
Howard
something.
Hessman.
I always liked it because it was like
Yes,
It was-
Howard Hessman.
it was like Cincinnati. It was like WKRP in Cincinnati. Like that was right up the road, you know.
yeah. But they filmed it in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it was
It was
bait,
that.
yeah.
Let's see, One Day at a Time, and another one that was out at the same time on TV.
Oh yeah, One Day at a Time with
Valerie
Bertinelli and
Eddie Van Halen's future wife.
Phillips,
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Phillips. Yeah.
Yeah.
One Day at a Time. Yeah, man.
That's right.
Dating ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey, these shows are good.
They were classics, man. I
There's a lot of
catch
classics.
myself watching them, man, because they pop up on my Hulu.
Old school times when we had some good TV.
Was that was same like shit, that's a remake or something.
Yeah.
There's a
Day
new
at a
One
time.
Day at a
There's a
Time.
new mate. Yeah, there's
And
a
Mackenzie
remake. That's
Phillips
the
is on
original.
it.
Snyder was the
Snyder.
yeah.
Had his cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The maintenance man.
Yeah. Schneider.
You're such an ass.
Valerie Bertinelli was like
Three's
was like
Company.
13.
right?
It
Wasn't
was almost like the-
Three's
13.
Company was
He was
on.
like the janitor Fonzie. Like
yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
What's kind of a character that's a janitor, but he's like
You know,
Fonz.
you know what I watched the other day? It popped up on Netflix. Can I say Netflix on here? I guess I already did.
Oh, you can say whatever.
Yeah, you can say
we
whatever
don't give
you
a
want.
shit.
We can
We
say
don't
we
get
just
paid.
can't-
We don't care.
We just can't show it.
I don't get paid.
It showed American Graffiti, and that was Ron Howard. And,
Spielberg's first, not Spielberg's, but Star Wars guys'
yeah,
first
Yep.
movie.
yeah.
George
Lucas.
George Lucas.
And that was actually based off. That's what Happy Days was based off of.
Yeah, yeah.
They saw Ron Howard in that and made him like a year later. Happy Days come out.
Yeah,
And
that-
then what's really funny is
I
Bob,
watched Happy Days like crazy.
Bob
Happy
Seger grew
Days.
up in those real times
Mm-hmm.
when that was based on, and he was watching American Graffiti one day, and it took him back to when he was that age and hanging around and cruising up and down the strip. So he wrote Night Moves.
Yeah.
So I was
What a
watching
great
that thinking,
song,
thinking,
right?
had
I
they
remember.
not made this movie, I mean, just think of how that just changes life. They made this movie, which inspired someone to create, and I know who it was, I just can't think of his name, to create Happy Days, but it also inspired someone like Bob Seger to write a song like Night Moves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird. It's just funny how everything sprouts out and becomes these mega hits.
What a great song. What a great song.
Oh yeah.
It was a great song.
That's a
I
great
still listen
song.
to it every now and then.
Are we
Happy
allowed?
Days.
I won't sing it, but we can always.
It was created by Gary Marshall.
Gary Marshall created it.
Gary Marshall, yeah.
There's your Night Moves.
That's that was Penny Marshall's dad, I believe.
Penny Marshall's brother.
Brother.
And what was their little show was the two girls together.
Laverne and
Laverne
Shirley.
and Shirley, and
yeah,
the girl
yeah.
that played Shirley played the girlfriend of Ron Howard in American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so was Mackenzie Phillips, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old Mackenzie Phillips was in that movie.
Yep.
All before One Day, way before One Day at a Time. I'm still drop tune. Ooh, no, I'm not. Didn't that happen the other day at practice? I played half a song in the wrong tune.
Yeah.
We go back and forth in tuning a lot, and I've got a guitar. It's an Eddie Van Halen guitar.
Yeah.
That he designed. And I'm not big on buying signature guitars, but with Eddie Van Halen,
He changed music, right? He changed the way you play guitar.
And you bought a brand. You don't buy, like, there's some country people. I went to Grand Ole Opry in Nashville a few years back, and the guitar player had an Eddie Van Halen guitar, and he's just playing twang on it. But so it's more of a, and they're made by Fender now. It used to be Peavey. And it's not so much that you want to be in an Eddie Van Halen cover band. It's just that it's a brand. You know, it's just there's a lot. Steve Stevens, the guitar player of Billy Idol, he's a legend of his own. You think he'd have his own guitar? He's playing Eddie Van Halen guitars.
Eddie's huge, right? How big is Eddie to you? Like like you play the guitar? Like who you can both play guitar? Like who's your favorite? Who do y'all think the best? I know it's but who you?
I come from that. Obviously, Eddie and Randy Rhoads. When I want to get technical and really listen to some thought out stuff, Eddie and Randy especially on that more technical thought out. I think Eddie kind of played by feel, but he just changed things. But I really come from that whole Slash, Joe Perry, blues, Jimmy Page, Ace Frehley, But Eddie took all that and went somewhere else. With Slash, obviously, was a favorite.
Van Halen's like I know it's a huge band, but it's like underrated. I think a lot of people like.
I think there's some people that love him, like him, and there's some people that just don't get it.
Yeah.
What about you? Who's your biggest influence in music? This is where, because I know I'll say this after he tells the answer, but something funny is going to come out. I got something, but go ahead.
Biggest influence for what? For
playing, this is as a musician.
Music, guitar, like what made you pick up? What made you pick up that guitar? Both of y'all. What made y'all pick up that music guitar? Was it in your soul? You just had to like get it out.
I've always been drawn to the bass. I wish I could play like Geddy Lee or Les Claypool, but that's just not in the cards.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, it's just really never become my style. But I've always looked up to people like Geddy Lee and John Entwistle and John Paul Jones and
Entwistle, man, that stuff from the Who,
James Jamerson, and like all the guys from the '60s on.
That stuff John was doing in the Who, man, was. I mean, a lot of people don't catch that. They just don't think about it.
I didn't call him Thunderfingers for nothing.
He was doing some crazy. Listen to a Who song sometime and listen to the bass.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's all over the place, man.
I've always been.
And you couldn't tell, like, because on stage, he was just like this stoic statue. Like, he didn't move.
There.
Like, the whole show, he was like this the whole show.
But these fingers were moving all over the place.
That dude was just tearing it up, and nobody.
I was always drawn to the bass. I never played, but I always I own a bass. I was always, if I was going to play the guitar, it'd probably be the bass.
I mean, it's the backbone of this. It just felt like it was never this out in front of the song, but it was always there. And if it wasn't there, it felt wrong.
Yeah.
What about Jimi Hendrix?
I'm sure you played the regular guitar too, right? I mean,
I can play a little bit, but not.
Yeah, you just love the bass, right?
Yeah, the bass is the only instrument I've really played. I mean, that's what I played first. I didn't play guitar first.
Here's what I was going to say after he said all that was, I'll come up with some kind of crazy, like. Like I'll come up with some crazy. Something like that, but ran through amps and all that. And, I do a demo of it, and I'm over there on bass going, and I hand this stuff to Britt, and Britt's like, I got this really cool thing like they did with the Commodores. Or what would be not Commodores, but what's another one? It'd be some funk band from the 70s. And I'm like, well, okay.
Something simple that changes the whole game.
No, not simple at all. Like I'm playing a simple.
Yep, that's simple.
It's because I'm playing the guitar like that.
Yep.
Holmes over here comes up with some kind of, you know,
something funky.
and I'm like, yeah, something funky. But he's like, they played this stuff, the silver. What's some of the stuff from the '70s that you know the funk stuff.
Parliament
like,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I like
Yeah.
Parliament, Larry Graham, Sly and the Family Stone.
Like Sly, like he'll say, "Here's something from Sly and the Family," and it works. Listen to our CD. You know, I'm
A lot
playing
of the
some crazy
hip-hop-
riffs, and
a
he's
lot of-
playing this.
A lot of the
Funk stuff
'90s,
behind it. It
early
works.
'90s hip hop was, you know, on the bass and the stuff like that. Like some of
Yeah, I
that,
mean-
like the Parliament and stuff like that. Like you
And
know,
I think a lot of times, like people are always looking, you know, who can play the fastest and the flashiest, and sometimes simple is just required.
yeah. And when
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
simple, it's not. I mean, playing a guitar or playing the bass guitar is not simple at all.
No,
but
but, I
like you
mean-
know, like doom 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 or something like that. And it's
yeah.
like
Sometimes
that's-
less
sounds-
is better.
Yeah,
One of the most
Yeah.
famous bass lines ever written is 5 whole notes.
it
basically.
could change the game.
You know,
It changed the whole song,
Papa
right?
was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
What about Jimi Hendrix?
Hendrix.
How'd that go? How'd it go?
Hendrix was like Van Halen. Hendrix.
Yeah.
Hold on. How'd it go?
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo,
Yeah, no, right? It
Right.
changes the whole game.
Yeah.
It changes the whole song.
The
doo-doo.
thing about Hendrix is he was left-handed, learned and
Yeah.
played it.
Well, he
Played
was a-
left hand. Yeah, he just flipped it over.
Yeah, but the other part people don't realize is Hendrix was a jazz guitar player before he was
Yep.
a rock and roll
Exactly.
musician.
Exactly. Yeah.
Purple Haze.
Those guys that play the jazz, that play jazz, like you know, what is it? Not Wynton. The guy that was he was the head of the Tonight Show band forever.
Kevin, you.
Wynton Marcel, was it Wynton Marcel? No, Bradford. Not Bradford Marcel.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Somebody.
He's the bass guitar.
Always like
Yeah,
the
I know
bass
you're
line
talking
to. Remember the bass line to what was that cop show? Barney Miller.
Oh yeah, I love that show. I love that show. That was one of my favorite shows. I thought that show was so funny.
And that little
And then
funky
everybody
hook on
thinks
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, that's a
Do you do you have an acoustic bass?
I do not.
Yeah.
I've picked some of them up and tried to play them, and
They don't play the same.
well, they have to be amplified. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
you
they're
can't
still-
like I can't bring an acoustic bass with an acoustic guitar. You'll never hear the bass because the frequency is just so low. It doesn't resonate well
Yeah.
typically off an
Yeah.
acoustic.
So you might as well just play a regular.
yeah.
right?
So I might as well just play a bass.
Yeah.
you
Plugged
know?
in, yeah.
Yeah, plugged in.
Yeah.
And
Play.
It's very important too.
Next
Let's-
time, bring your bass. I
let's-
have
let's
an amp
show-
in the other room, so
Let's
Yeah.
show off a little bit for what's a good song you're on our CD that we can we play another one
Oh yeah, play another.
that's
yeah.
got that's
Exactly.
showcasing your bass. What we're talking about, where my guitars are heavy, but your bass is doing some kind of funkadelic stuff on it. I mean, what's
Yeah,
a,
I don't really think I'm doing any of that anywhere.
you
but-
you are. What would
Well, we
we
know that you are.
you want to
got
throw a
that
lone?
bass
We
kick.
did a lone acoustic, so we let them hear the electric version of it.
Yeah, we can do that. You want to hear a little?
You heard alone a minute ago. I did the one verse.
Uh-huh.
We can play the studio version and listen to this
go ahead.
dude's bass. Don't listen to
Love
me. I'm just noodling.
We
But
wanna
listen to his
that
bass on there.
I love slapping the bass.
This is the song that opens the CD. And it's called Alone, and it's about it's a song about being. You ever been just sitting? Have you ever been alone too long where you start to go stir crazy? You're just in a room, and you end up just talking to people that's not that. Not necessarily you went crazy. You're like, that guy's talking to himself.
Yeah, I spent a night in jail before.
Well, not that whole thing, but like almost like if they put you in solitary confinement or in a padded room, but in your mind you just start you become a hermit, and kind of like that movie Castaway, and Tom
Wilson.
Tom Hanks makes a best friend out of a ball
I love
because he has nobody else to talk to.
Wilson's
you know?
so cool.
Yeah, I've been in there. I've been in here in the studio for hours sometimes, like just editing some stuff and be like, yeah, talking to myself.
Yeah, but imagine doing that
Man,
for
some
like
of the best conversations I've ever
Exactly,
had been
yeah.
with myself.
But imagine being like that for a whole summer or a year. You know, if you say, man, I'd sit in here all too far, or sometimes you'd be here by yourself and you're out here and it's night and it's Lexington, you're like, man, I gotta get home, I gotta get out of here. But imagine being here like that for a year, not seeing anybody or not being around anyone. Or
Yeah.
like some of these people are like just, They just close themselves off, and
I
that's what this song's
I
about.
kind of had a summer like that when I was
alone with your thoughts.
Younger,
and those
I
thoughts
would-
sometimes get out of hand.
Yes,
I
they
would
do.
I would
Yeah,
go to
man,
I would go to my fast food job, flip burgers for 4 or 5 hours, go home, and the rest of the night play Nintendo and trying to beat Mike Tyson. I think that was kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Just by myself, just trying to.
yeah. Only the TV don't work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're beating it in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, being alone with your thoughts
sing it
for a
in
long
your head.
time by yourself, man, it's not good.
I've
You
been
just
there.
start creating your own reality. and
You
shit.
start
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
I had one of those.
I've been there, man. I've been that.
Could you
boat
imagine
before.
being like
It's horrible.
not being able to move or being like, I don't know, just like
It's a horrible place to
did
be,
that
man.
right.
like paralyzed from the neck down and then be left in a
home or
like,
something.
home
yeah.
somewhere and somebody checks on you maybe a couple hours a day and this
Imagine someone's mental.
That would be
have to
horrible.
live
Or like Metallica's one where the guy, Johnny, is stuck inside his body, but
Johnny
no one
gets
can
your
hear
gun.
him.
yeah, you'd have to live somewhere else. You wouldn't have
That's
you
a
couldn't
whole
live
nother
in that.
level there. But
Yeah.
so imagine that's not wrong with you. You've just chosen or whatever put you there in life. You're just home alone. You're just somewhere alone.
I think you become the unimobber after that.
But you're yeah.
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 Yeah,
That's
you
what I'm
become
saying.
the
I mean, you
Unabomber,
start
or
to
you
store
become
the
Yeah.
reality.
There that's a
Zodiac
good one. Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
It's easy to do, man.
But that's what this song's about being
Okay.
alone.
Cool. So what's the name of this song?
Alone.
Alone. Okay.
Right, that's a good name.
All right, let's play it.
There you have it.
Well, guys, there's another exclusive from the Troy Perry show.
That's the first song on the CD. You hear that bass there at the end?
Oh,
when
yeah.
I'm doing that little.
Yeah.
We kind of break it. We kind of bring it down a little bit, and
He's like doom 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 doom.
That's right.
Doom.
but he made me. That song was a lot heavier. I mean, it was that fast, but it was just dong 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 dong. It was.
That's a
whole-
great rock song right there.
it
That's
was-
just a
it
great
was-
rock
It
song.
originally was
It
just
was.
I don't even remember what it was originally. I'm not gonna lie. I remember Nick. I did the podcast with Nick for a couple of weeks ago. This was the
Yeah.
last weekend of your.
He
your
asked
play.
you how have these songs changed, and
Yeah, he
you
asked
said-
me how these songs have changed. I was like, yeah, I don't.
I was
I'm
thinking
just-
30 things in my head, and he goes, They haven't really changed at all."
Yeah, and it was good I said that because he had lost the original track, and so he on his podcast when he went to put it on the air,
Yeah.
he
Yeah, he
replaced
put-
it with
he played
the
the
he
new
put the
one.
new one on there instead. He put the new
It was for a train.
last train. Yeah,
But it used to go. It used to just be. That was it.
yeah. Was that the original bass line?
That was original. My bass was just.
Yeah. Like, I don't.
So
really
he started
remember.
adding this more funkier.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though it's heavy, but he added this.
I was just trying to give us
I
some.
wouldn't even call
movement.
it funk. Just what would be just a jam.
I was just
a
trying to give it.
jive.
Yeah, I was just trying to give it some movement, just to
Yeah.
give it like a place.
So
something
in
to,
turn,
something
Get
to roll
a little
on.
Brett
Where-
Ripley there.
Yeah.
Throw a little
just-
Brett
So we're
Ripley on
rehearsing
it.
one day, and he's doing that, and it kind of made me go from to.
Yeah, yeah.
That's got a Lenny Kravitz vibe to it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
it does. Yeah, now that you say it, it
Yeah.
kind of does.
You know, I mean, it still had the whole like.
Maybe I'll
that.
listen to his version of American Woman once a week.
That's a good song.
Now that part is. You know, it just made me go a different route with it because of his bass playing.
I also
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
a little bit of Jimi Hendrix inside.
Isn't that
that
awesome
song.
how something
a
like
little bit, yeah.
and you guys are playing it like this now, but like will it change again, you think? Or
It already has because now
Yeah.
the second verse I dropped the guitar altogether and it's just bass
Yeah,
and
we
drums and
already-
vocal.
Yeah.
I did that once at rehearsal. I'm like, that sounded good. Now I wish I would have. But like I
Record-
said,
y'all
we're,
didn't record it like
we're going
that,
to do a
but-
much bigger recording, and that'll probably be one that'll end up on there with
yeah.
a new.
That's right.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Hey, you know, and then live, you never know what you're gonna get. It's
Yeah.
whatever, you know. It's not gonna be a bad song. It's just, but what's in the moment sometimes.
Do y'all like? Do you have a couple drinks before you play, or
Yeah, man, I don't
no, you don't drink? See,
I
you
don't
don't.
drink.
You don't do either, do you, Terry? Troy.
I don't smoke cigarettes or anything like. I'm pretty straight on all that. I'll have a drink once in a while,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't. I look at it like it's a job. Like if I DJ somewhere,
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
I'm DJing a party or a wedding or something, people offer me a drink. I'm like, no, I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's just me. I don't.
Yeah, I just
dictate or
wonder
any of
because,
that.
like, you know, if you don't have a drink,
If I'm a little nervous, I might have a shot before a show, or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have a
yeah.
beer up there and sip on it all night. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not that straight laced, but you know, it's just never been my
yeah,
jam.
it could change.
I
the way
wasn't
you
the
play,
one
right?
running up
You
the
know,
wall
I-
being chased by robots. I only witnessed it.
Exactly.
I admit, you know, when I first started off, you know, I thought it was cool to get up there and play and drink, and
Yeah.
and then I actually heard a recording of a gig that I had played, and I was like, "That's fucking horrible! Don't ever do that shit
Yeah.
again."
So,
I've got a video of
because
my
it could
21st.
change it, right?
yeah,
Or some people could probably make it better, and some people could make it worse. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I got
Yeah.
a video still on VHS video of my 21st birthday, and that was in the 90s, and I partaked. It was my 21st birthday, and
Yeah,
we're playing
of course,
we're
right.
playing a show, and I'm repeating the same song. I
Yeah.
just start going right back in. It's like if we finished
Right.
Alone, did a song, and all of a sudden I go, "This is called Alone."
Let's do it again.
And I remember the guitar player whispers in my ear, and I look at him and say,
Play that
"Well, we'll
song.
play it again." He's telling me we already played that.
Played it like 5 times already.
Yeah, and it was bad. You could see people starting to get up and leave.
They're
And
like,
the whole room
"No,
looks empty, and I thought I'll never. At 21, I'm like, I never got over that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care how many times I got to prove it to myself and to anybody. People don't even didn't know me then, know me now. You know, didn't even know me then. I don't care.
Yeah.
every time I perform, I'm like, I'm not going to let that 21st birthday happen again.
So very serious about serious about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I tried it, I did it, and I did not succeed.
That's awesome.
But that's me. That's me. Some people, like you say, can do it. I'm not.
Guys, we've been on here 2 hours already.
Oh, wow.
been 2 hours?
It is time.
Yeah, it's been
huh?
2 hours already. At this time, I let
it's
everybody
top of the hour.
say their last closings on. I'm gonna let Johnny go first. Johnny, go.
I just want to thank everyone that has been commenting tonight, everyone that's been watching tonight. Thank you again, Troy Perry and Britt, for allowing
Thank
us
you.
your moment of
Yes,
your
sir.
time. Thank you, Sean, for showing up, brother. Always a pleasure. Andy, you're always great as a host.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? The co-host is
Oh,
also
Andy.
great.
You are Johnny. You're
But you know what?
God, quit blowing.
Stay nice, get on the podcast, God.
You want to go ahead and say shout out whatever you want to shout out.
Man, I just first thank you for having us on here, man. It's
No
been
problem.
a great, it's
No
been
problem.
a good time. It's been great to come on and tell our story and let Troy tell his story about his music, and hopefully y'all can come out Saturday and just shout out to my wife and kids for helping me and keeping me on track, not letting me quit.
Exactly.
There you go.
So that's it.
Carrie, you go ahead. Troy. Well, I don't know why I'm going.
Perry.
I'm putting your both your names together.
No, thanks for having us on. Come out and see us Saturday, April 20th, Saturday, Skullfest 420. We've got, what do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 10, 12 bands. And starts at 4:20. Hair of the Doghouse, 218 South Porter Drive in Richmond, Kentucky. And we're headlining the thing, and CD release party. We'll have CDs, T-shirts. Skullfest going to have some T-shirts. Nick will have some T-shirts there left over from some other shows, and there's will be some compilation CDs that you will find the original demos on.
Okay.
From me, there's 2 CDs out there that I believe he's going to have available at Skullfest. So it won't just be my stuff; it'll be some compilation stuff that I'm also on before.
Yeah,
I
some
got
of that
Britt
stuff is
involved.
like Ryan the Lion, who's going to be
Yeah,
there
Ryan
as well.
Lyon's going to be
as,
on it.
Emmett-
And Dominic's
Dominic's
is on
is on there. Yeah.
So he's got a couple. He's got a couple Skullfest compilations and Kentucky compilations, Kentucky Underground.
Yeah.
He's going to try to have a merch table with that and some Skullfest shirts, and then we'll have a Troy Perry show table with our stuff, and we'll be performing at 10:25, 10:30. Let's just say 10:30.
Sure.
Somewhere between 10 and 30. The schedule never goes perfect.
And tomorrow night, you're going to be live on your show.
Yep. WCYN 101.3 FM, 1400 AM, WCYN app, or WCYN.com. And it will be live. We'll have some vinyl records. We'll have some live music. And we'll be promoting basically what we did tonight, only with some more musicians, and I'll be hosting it. Nick will be there tomorrow night. And I think, Britt, you coming down?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I
Britt will be there. We'll have a doctor. I don't know if he's listening right now. We'll have the doctor will be in the house.
Hell yeah.
Everybody knows who the doctor is.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun deal. I heard tell there's a basketball game or there's some kind of game going on that's being aired. So we might be on a little bit after 8. If you tune in and we're not on, stick around. They gave me word earlier today that there is a game. It might run into our 8 o'clock spot, but he said we can stay on as late as we want to. So we'll get our full 2 hours.
Yeah, awesome. Guys, I want everybody out there to watch us. Go over to the Facebook page, like, share, comment on our content over there. Please subscribe to the Nice Guy Andy podcast on Facebook. It's only $1, and we are probably going to have we're going to have to take the show behind the subscription paywall at some point, half of it at least. First hour will probably be live on Facebook, and then the second hour will probably be behind the subscription. But if you guys would just go over there and subscribe, we probably wouldn't have to take it over there. But we have to try to get monetized for our live shows. So if you guys want to see the Nice Guy Andy podcast live on Facebook or YouTube, go and subscribe and let us know. Anything you got to say else, Johnny? Who are we having on tomorrow night, Johnny?
We got Goodall's Country Kitchen review. Barry Goodall Jr. coming in tomorrow night, so tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And he's got a big YouTube channel, so go check out his food reviews over there. If you're not having fun,
You ain't getting none. Damn Skippy. Yeet.
Nice
Yeet.
guy, anti-podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
I get fired in?
No, you didn't jump in.
You didn't give me